Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rise of Tiamat, Session 6, I believe. Today we're going to be... Hold on, let me undeafen my crew here.
Who's the guy from Jurassic Park?
There we go.
Plays Al.
John Hammond?
No, his name's Sam something, I think. The actor.
Oh, Sam Neill?
Oh, yeah.
There was a TV miniseries in the late 90s about Merlin where Sam Neill played Merlin. That I always
yeah.
Yeah, so he was a good Merlin, but he was like much more grounded in his abilities. Like he could summon some rain or...
That was a little bit of a sad ending on that one. And that was the last of the magic he ever used.
Well, welcome everyone. We are starting up Session 6 of Rise of Tiamat. I think this week we are at a Council of Dragons and going to try to convince them to join forces with all the lords and ladies of the Council of Waterdeep to pool their forces and help against the dragon cult. Would anyone like to give a recap of what happened last time?
Let's see here. I think we started by doing some downtime type activities. I remember that Aster freed the spirit of Suncaller from the staff that we got from Farblick Spattergill.
Oh, yeah. So, Cobus, if you want to have a staff of withering that doesn't have your the soul of your mentor trapped into it, then you're welcome to it.
Ooh, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you.
Staff of Withering. Thanks. Let's see here. We talked a little bit about what happened with Cyanrath and sort of paved the way for some of that backstory. We learned that I think what we decided on was that he had, we don't know this yet in character, but he resurrects Frula Mundath with clerical help. He leaves the cult because, they betrayed him and abandoned him to rot in jail and don't care about him.
And abandoned her to rot in the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's like, no, you're an idiot. You're betraying the cult. No, cult. And left him. So now he is sort of rallying bands of fighters to harry and work against the cult in his own capacity independently.
When you said, and now he is, I thought you were just going to say, sad.
Yeah.
A broken half-dragon.
Yeah. So he's working as an independent guerrilla warfare type person, it seems like. Related to that, we started recruiting for our mercenary company. Taisho helped to bring in some veterans to help train up the troops. Yuri is more in the idea that anybody should be able to join, and it's your determination and your spirit that will make you great rather than prior experience, because you can always get experience, and that's where Taisho came in. He got a crit on that, so we made a bunch of progress. We got the first level of being established, and I think the extra carryover from that was that we wanted Cyanrath to hear about that remotely to sort of pave the way of bringing him into the fold.
Nice.
Cool. We learned through completing the observatory with, I guess it's like a scrying tower or something?
Yeah, it's like a magical... It's both an observatory and like lets you do scry on anything within like a 50-mile radius or something like that.
That's cool.
It was used by I forgot the name of them, but basically this order of fortune tellers and seers. And it's since fallen into disrepair and stuff, but you guys finally got that thing fixed.
And we learned a very cool secret in that Vorg Hamanthar, the black dragon who inhabits the swamp and who's known as like the Wings of Death or something cool like that, because he's like the fastest dragon, literally can be in two places at once because he has a twin. So there are two ancient black dragons or adult black dragons here that we might be able to blackmail or do something with or about. But that was a cool reveal. And then we ended up back at the regular council, and from there, we're making our way to the Dragon Council on the back of I forget what her name was.
Something unpronounceable.
Let's see. I don't have that pulled up. And that's what I got. And some cool moments in the middle.
Wait, was this one?
Oh, Aster took Yuri into the lamp, the genie lamp, after the dragon was like, "You're not a genie." She's like, right. "I'm pretty sure I am."
And then proved it by going into her lamp.
Yep. Well, that settles that then.
Look, forget this. I'm going home.
Let's see. We also split up some treasure from the White Dragon's horde. Let's see. Who's got the Ring of Regeneration?
I don't know that anybody took that. I think that might have been an option. I forget. I don't think it was me. Oh, I learned that, there was a distant member of my family. I didn't write his name down. I don't have it here. A bard who apparently perished or made his way here and lost one of his relics. That was a Ring of the Ram, I think.
I think his name was Balasar.
Balasar, I wrote it down here.
There we go.
He was a swashbuckling, roguish bard.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think that pretty much covers everything.
I gotta bring a feather fall so that I can fall slowly, which will come in handy with my jump.
Cobus, you said you were interested in a bell branch, so that's in there if I can find it.
Yeah.
I don't have it in the... I don't have that book in Roll20 yet, so... just have the stats of it up, and... Let's see. Bell branch 5e...
Let's see here.
I'll just create a handout real quick and add that to you. There you go.
Thank you, sir. Oh boy.
That's cool. It's a nice utility ad.
Cool. All right, people. Her name was Elia in human form, and I forget what her name was in... Let me see if I can... Yeah, this is unpronounceable.
Yes, human form. Oh my gosh, Aster got a bat cloak. She can turn into a bat now. I forgot.
Twisted my arm for it, and you forgot all about it, huh?
No. I just didn't have my sheet up, so I wasn't looking at my items.
Okay.
It's in there, I swear.
I think Kyla got something cool, didn't she? She got something for meta... Oh yeah, she can like teleport around if she uses a meta magic feat or something.
That's awesome.
It is.
Very fun. Oh my gosh. Atar Leocarnos?
Sure.
Atar Leocarnos.
And then I will make another handout real quick so Cobus can catch up with where the heck we're at. All players. players. Bloop.
I swear, for some of these dragon names, they're just like smashing the keyboard.
Yeah, they are. Alright. I don't think I showed that to players. Bloop. There we go.
Ooh, look at this.
All right. So you guys were flown on the back of an ancient silver dragon, made it to this fantastical magical place. And before you was this big feast that was set up. There's a off to the side there was a normal sized table and chairs for everyone. It looks like it could host maybe 60 people, but there's only 5 or 6 of you here today. I forget, you took Taisho with you, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that's
but he took off his armor or whatever.
Right. Let's see. And then there was also a house or a basically a well-furnished house that they've put you up in. It seems like there's a small neighborhood of houses here, but they're all empty. Except for a couple, and yours is one of them. And you guys spend the night, start the next morning, and ready to start the council meeting. I had shared with you guys, it's probably in the useful links. It's not in the useful links. Alright, I'll do that real quick.
Suki.
There we go. Might have to close it and reopen it, but basically that'll take you to the Dragon Council.
Nice.
And just give you a list of kind of the NPCs that are here. That dovetailed with the pictures and that stuff. I think it will just give you a clearer idea. You were talking to Corulius, I think, last night. So he's probably giving you a rundown. Oh wait, no, you were talking to Sirocco, right? He was one of the bronze.
I've been talking to Sirocco, yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the bronze dragons that had been hanging out at the
I thought
at
he
your
was a
wedding.
brass dragon.
Maybe he's a brass dragon. Always get brass and bronze mixed up.
He's a dragon?
Got me. You got me.
Where's that? Useful links. Yeah, session NPCs, I think.
Corulius is one name I've written down. And Taz McKella.
Sirocco in this? I thought he was. There he
I
is.
remember seeing something from him.
Yeah, he's on page 2 of the NPCs. So, you guys wake up. There's probably like a human, a younger human that is dressed in silver robes, and she comes to your lodgings, knocks on the door, and says they're ready to begin. If you would follow me.
Certainly, I think that sounds fine by me.
Yeah.
And
Yes, we're ready.
this she leads you to this central temple, more or less. The sky is completely open. There's not a roof like there is here, and there's this it's a massive structure because it's built to be accommodating to ancient dragons. So there's these huge steps that go down into the central, like each ring kind of gets lower, and then there's a section for somewhere between 5 and 10 dragons that could all sit comfortably in the center. And the steps down are as massive as your head, like the main steps going down, but then there's a smaller set of steps cut off to one side so that humans and the humanoid races can get to where they need to be. There's a small set of chairs that have been set up to one side, and already the dragons have already been talking for a little while, and you walk in kind of mid-conversation. Around you see the various dragons that Sirocco had identified with you last night. Ooh, that was one thing. Did you have any specific questions for him before we got started?
Yeah, I think if he's accompanying us while we're walking over, Yuri's always keen to speak with him because I think they have a good and friendly vibe. But he says, listen, knowing that we're going in there, do you have any last-minute advice, things that might benefit us that you wouldn't be able to tell us in front of others?
Let's see. Does he tell you anything? Let's see.
I feel like I have 2 names written down, Corarulius and Tasmakella, but I don't have any additional notes, so I'm not sure if he told us those names or if that's just something that I heard in passing.
Yeah, he was probably giving you a little bit of information about those 2 dragons, like Coriolis, Corulius. I think that dragon is going to be 100% easy to convince. He's already ready to rock and roll, and he wants to help out the Harpers in the Order of the Gauntlet, since they just epitomize like what's good and awesome about humans. And let's see. And who was the other dragon?
The other one that I had written down was Tasmakella.
And yeah, that one was the Copper Dragon, and she wants to attack, but she's not convinced attacking just outright right this second would be safe or wise. And he gives you kind of the rundowns, like the first thing you're going to need to do really is convince the dragons that this is a worthy cause. Like some of these dragons have lived for millennia, and they've seen wars come and go, and they're old, and they just don't recognize like the importance of this. So one of the things that you're going to have to do is convince these dragons that this is special. You need to come out of your layers. You need to put your lives on the line, or Tiamat could return. If we don't help out, that is a very real possibility now, and a lot of them just don't believe it.
We put our best foot forward and tried to be very convincing.
Let's see. Other things that he can say is like play to the dragon's weaknesses. They even though they're good, they all like treasure, and they have their own desires and wants, and meet those, and you'll be able to convince them to join.
I appreciate that. I'm confident we can make a difference.
And if not, we'll just we'll do our best and see what happens.
Is there anything anybody else wanted to ask him before we get in there?
Asked her. Nope. I'm playing to her as well as I can.
Not that I can think of. That was pretty much what I was going to ask anyway. Like, any advice?
That's pretty good questions.
So yeah, so you make it down into this this marble, open roofed kind of coliseum type thing, and there's sitting around the council are just dozens of dragons of all the metallic varieties. Don't think there'll be any chromatics here, but all the dragons on the outside are just silently listening, and they're each, most of them are in just sections of like, here's the golds, here's the silvers, but there's a few intermingled between the groups, and in the central part of the room are the 5 dragons that are kind of the head of each of the factions. And right now you're coming down, and let's see. The only other person that's kind of in the central part is Lightbringer, and it looks like he has a very comfortable chair, and his eyes are closed, and he seems to be sleeping while the first part of this meeting is going on. And his chair is over near where you guys are sitting. The conversation that's going on right now was kind of leads into what Sirocco was saying. Some of the dragons are asking, every dragon cult that has ever existed has always fallen on itself. They are evil. They are dumb. They always turn on each other, and they never accomplish anything of note. This is no different. And a couple of dragons get into an argument about why this is a little bit different. Arignus, like as you guys are coming into the meeting, he like lifts up a talon to calm the rest of the dragons down in order to get them to stop talking, and he says, "Welcome." He makes the introductions, and I'm Arignus, and you have been invited here to participate in this illustrious council, and perhaps you could explain why this time it's different. Why this time it's not just your average mortal war. Why do you think we should be involved?
Maybe we should have prepared something beforehand.
No.
Talked about what we would pitch to them.
This is going to be fine.
Can we talk out of character for a second?
Sure.
I feel like our
maybe.
characters would have prepared a little bit more.
Yeah, you guys would have been like probably up late last night talking about this because Sirocco was saying, yeah, one of your first things you're going to have to do is do that. So sorry to put you on the spot. Maybe I should have prompted something like that earlier in the week.
No, I think I think you telegraphed a lot of, hey, we're going to the council now. Hey, this is what you're going to talk about. But it didn't occur to me that we should, probably talk as a group beforehand to make sure we're on similar pages, at least.
You said you had something, Kaylee?
Yeah, for one thing, I was going to start off by mentioning the ancient, dragon mask artifacts connected to Tiamat.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And how the cult possesses all 5 of those.
They possess 4 of them. You possess 1 of them.
Oh, well, yes. Sorry.
It's true. That was also the main one that I had, so I think that's a big tipping point. I mean, we dealt a lot of damage to their efforts already, but, at cost.
Mm-hmm.
We can maybe reinforce how many chromatic dragons they're involving, like how much they're working together.
Right.
Although I don't know what we can really point to at this point.
Well, you have evidence of all over the Sword Coast. There have been dragons raiding on
Right.
On different villages. The cult has been really targeting the smaller villages and just taking every single bit of wealth out of them, and even they've mounted enough offensive against towns the size of Burdusk that it's definitely a big deal, at least as far as you're concerned. But to these people to these dragons that live for multiple millennia, I mean, think about that.
Yeah,
if you're alive for 6,000 years, you could have watched them build the pyramids and then watch people get sent to the moon. So
yeah.
a lot changes in that time, and it's a hard perspective for someone that only lives for 70 years to kind of identify with.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I would also like to bring up is the fact that they already had possession of a flying castle. And we don't even know where their main headquarters are. So if they already had a flying castle, but for just one section of the cult, who knows what else they have?
That's a good point.
And the Drakhorn's been firing off every month.
Yeah.
That's not normal. I would think.
It's definitely not.
I think you guys are hearing that.
Absolutely, they are. Absolutely.
Oh.
So we can do this a few different ways. We can do a little clock and try to fill that up. We could just talk about this in an out of character way for a little bit, and you guys can make your speech. Or we can say, "Hey, we just convinced them that yeah, this is what's happened." Because the points you've brought up are all really great, and if you even show them the mask, I think that would be a catalyst enough to get these practically immortal beings to take this seriously.
And a masked Lord of Waterdeep was assassinated.
Ooh.
Which may or may not be connected, but is still interesting and good gossip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They might maybe one of their dragon hordes is gossip. It's not your traditional treasure hoard, but ooh, does it glitter?
Mm-hmm.
I would take out the dragon mask. I was actually thinking about that to show them, but then I realized that Tiamat can hear and see us through the mask, so even if we took that out for a brief moment, she could send a flight of chromatic dragons our way and maybe take out a few of our allies.
That's a really good point. We should probably keep that in the hole.
Good thinking.
I will go ahead and tell you and say, like, if you wanted to show that to them, you are 100% safe in this area. Like, this is there's so many metallic gold dragons. Like, the cult would have to say, "Hey, let's go fight these metallic dragons," and they would just burn through their forces pretty quickly. So you would be fine to show the mask.
Then maybe we just lead with that.
Yeah.
Slap the mask on the table.
Nice.
And then everything else can fall down from there. If we know in a slightly meta capacity, that can funnel the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I would like Yuri to tell the story of how he got the Dragon Skull helmet.
No, he's at least for now. See how this lands.
They did warn you not to talk about like the dragon trophies that you've taken. The dragon skull helmet being one of them.
But how else am I supposed to prove that what I'm saying is true?
Yeah, so I guess walk me through it, and we'll see where it goes.
Are we doing this in character or out of character?
I'd say in character.
Okay.
Right.
We throw the doors wide open,
Bam!
walking in slow motion.
Are there doves that can fly through the god rays behind us?
Absolutely.
I think
One of the
there would-
dragons is
so-
just
We're
waving
here
a
to
paladin.
save the world.
Don't you have
Soraka's just making it. I'm sorry, Caleb. Go ahead.
sorry? Don't you have that like hat of critters or something like that, Allie?
Ah! Oh my god, I do. I've
Rats scurry through the doors as we open
bats.
them.
Excuse you. Do you want bats, rats, frogs?
Frogs.
Behold.
Huzzah.
Frogs are the closest dragons, scientifically.
Tell them that.
Did you get that cape of like dramatic billowing or whatever?
I don't think I have that yet.
Okay.
Because I have my bat cloak now.
Yeah. Okay.
Very fast.
Very cool. Unless that's a feature of the bat cloak.
It's not.
Ooh.
Okay.
Dang. Well, we tried.
You just have to stitch the bat cloak to the cloak of billowing, so when the cloak
There you go.
bellows, it makes the bat cloak.
Whenever you use the back cloak, do you have to have like a dark, deep voice when you're talking to anybody?
No, I just say bat. It's pretty handy.
Bat.
Bat?
Tiefling form.
Shitty form.
Alright.
All right. So you guys get down to the bottom, and he like invites you to convince the dragons to take this seriously.
Yuri spends a moment in awe just looking around at all of... Like, how big is this setup? Size-wise?
Let's see. One gargantuan thing. Hold on. So it's like huge.
So these are all dragons in their dragon form.
Yeah,
right?
almost all of them are in dragon form. There's a few that have taken human form because they just prefer it.
And how many dragons are there? Are we talking like 100? Like...
Yeah, it's more than you've ever seen. Like hands down. Like you haven't even seen pictures or heard bard stories that had this many dragons all in one spot. Yeah, I'd say each wing, each color has representatives of like somewhere between 10 and 20. So around about 100 dragons, 75 dragons, somewhere in there.
So this is like a sports stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, this place is huge. Gotcha.
Yeah, but when you're speaking, because of like special magic and microphones or whatever, like everybody can hear you. You don't have to shout in order to get the people in the back rows to hear you.
It's like an opera house. That sound design wizardry.
Yeah, so it's like as big as a football stadium. If you've ever been inside one of those, it's kind of a marvel of construction.
Very cool.
I am going to change the watch together music because I found something I think is pretty good.
Please do. You have full reign. Everybody protect your ears.
I'll post that link in the channel. Oops, forgot to run my chat bot.
Nice.
It seemed appropriate.
Fools Radoom.
Yeah.
I always forget to join the watch together.
Oh, nobody's required to. It's just there for fun.
Just for fun.
I like music. Background
Me
music
too.
is thematic and important for my my enjoyment. So
Me also.
Where the heck is... I thought it was in the Dungeons and Dragons channel, wasn't it? Oh wait, I'm in the wrong Discord server. There we go. Rise of Tiamat.
Oh, I remember going to Sovngarde in Skyrim to defeat Alduin.
that one time I actually played the whole way through instead of getting distracted.
It's so cool there.
It's very cool there.
Beautiful.
All right, so we're walking into this enormous coliseum that is stuffed with dragons as they just watch us, these tiny little mortals, making their way out like baby ant children to stand in the middle and show them our macaroni pictures of why they should come and save us.
You have established the scene.
Oh my.
Who's got the green shells?
Oh my gosh.
They're made from zucchini.
Us putting together a plan to save the world. Alright.
Go ahead, Kayla.
Go ahead.
Unless anybody else has something, then I guess Kyla can start.
Please, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess she will pull the dragon mask out for proof, at some point, not right now though. And she'll say, "To those of you who do not believe that this cult is a threat, please tell me how they have, in fact, collected 5 ancient artifacts connected to Tiamat herself."
And let's see. Let me see who responds to you. Somebody does. Sorry.
No, take your time. I completely understand controlling like 10 NPCs at once.
Orignus says, "We have heard rumors of such things, but do you possess any proof?"
I do. And with that, she will pull out the black dragon mask. And she says, "This is one of the artifacts, and we managed to obtain it from Resmir, the leader of the black wing of the cult."
Yeah, when you pull that out, you just feel this this aura of intense evil and hatred. The mask is hot to the touch, and when you do, like, nobody was really talking over you. Everyone was being polite, but like when you pull this out, it's just all of the dragon's eyes are just drawn to it immediately, and it's just eerily silent. It's like everyone stopped breathing for just a moment. And he walks over towards you as you can feel the ground vibrating just a little bit as he steps gently towards you and holds his one clawed hand out for it. Says, "May I see it?"
She'll hand it over.
Yeah, and his massive claw just dwarfs you. He could pick you up in his hand like King Kong easily. And he delicately holds it up and peers at it with his eyes. It's like, yes, that will do. Put it away. Hands it
She
back.
will return to the bag of holding.
And he turns back to the crowds that are surrounding you and says, I trust that will serve as a sufficient catalyst to bring us to action. He returns over to his spot. And some of the dragons have nodded. Some dragons in the stands are still a little apprehensive. Nobody's just jumping to pledge their support just yet. Let's see. That's what I did with her. I gave her a second name, Rhyme. It's R-I-M-E, right?
Yes.
For Frosty Rhyme. So I need to change that here too. Maybe. Shablamable. Let's see here. Who's going to go first? So we have, in the council meeting, we have like kind of the people that are the dragons and their current attitudes. I think Corulius will be one of the first, the bronze. He says, I need no further convincing. This is, if Tiamat were to come back, that would drastically change the landscape. I know that the Harpers and the Order of the Gauntlet are behind this, and that's enough of a vote of confidence for me to pledge the bronze, bronze dragon wing to your aid. And all the bronze dragons are nodding. Is Sirocco bronze or brass? I keep forgetting. He's brass, right?
Sirocco is brass.
Yeah. But he's still nodding. It's like, yeah, cool.
Fury nods to himself as they step forward and immediately pledge, some of his faith restored.
Eleuthera, the brass dragon, though, will say, let's see, what's his deal? I've got like too many things that I didn't write, but I have notes here. Yes, I think we should do something, but allying with the humans and elves and his, you can detect just like a hint of hatred when he says elves. Do not forget what they have done to all of us, all of Dragonkind. The Draco Rage Mythal is not a natural occurrence, and the elves have brought that down upon us. We should do something, but we should not be allying with these mortals. They do not understand with the powers that they meddle with. We should do it without them.
Who is this that said that rhyme?
Eleuthera, the brass dragon.
What's the point of fighting against them if we can't even trust our own allies?
Yeah, I think that sets Yuri off, especially because this is a brass dragon. Yuri is a brass dragonborn, so having the bronze dragon step forward immediately and pledge based on that, and then to somebody who's kind of his own kin
Mm-hmm.
not only be like, nah, but also, like, denigrate them by being like, you're mortals. Like, I think he steps forward and says, as she says, why would we separate forces when together we might make a greater difference? Many hands make light work, and our hands are dirtiest of all so far. We have paved the way to bring this information to you. Surely there's no reason we should not work together. We may be mortals, but even you and I share some commonality. You cannot deny this.
I believe Lady Nightgem said it best. How can we team up when we cannot trust our allies? Do you know what the Draco Rage is? Every 20, 25 years, every couple of decades, dragons across the land are filled with this intense hatred and driven to madness, those that can't control it. Sometimes it's centuries apart, sometimes it's 20 years apart. It just depends. And this was done by the elves to us. For me to pledge the Brasswing, you will have to convince King Melendrank to formally apologize and attempt to undo this.
I'm just taking some notes here.
It will be done.
King Melendrank. Is that someone we've already met?
I don't think so.
Melendrank.
He's one of the Lord's Alliance people. Back in the Council of Waterdeep. I'll take you over there real quick. This guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know that he's done anything major so far. Is the Draco Rage something we would know about as characters? Is that specialized knowledge?
Kyla had researched it a little bit when she was researching the history of the white dragon you just slayed. And that kind of showed up, and Allie said, "Hey, that seems important. Why didn't anybody tell us this?" It's like, when's the next one?
So basically, it's just after an indeterminate random interval of time, dragons briefly go crazy and can't be trusted?
Yeah.
Okay.
That and evil dragons don't try to hide it. They don't try to resist it. They just go, all right, it's time for me to go kill a few peasants and get driven mad. I'll pick up some loot, kill some guys, eat some people. It'll be cool. But the same thing happens to good dragons as well.
And is this like it happens to all of them at the same time?
Yeah.
I see. Okay, I think that's the piece I was missing. So, and is it being caused by the Drakhorn?
It's not. It was actually something that the elves enacted, and I don't have much details on that, but I can look it up.
Okay,
gotcha. Why elves thought this was a good idea. I think
I was
wondering that myself.
I was trying to determine if those concepts were related, but I understand now. Thank you. So we just need to convince King Melindrath to formally apologize for doing that. And do we know why they did it in the first place?
Yeah, it seems like a bad call.
Was it a grudge type thing, or?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'll try to find a little more details, because as I was talking more about it to you, I'm like, but why though?
Yeah, right?
Trying to determine if Yuri would... I guess he does know about this because of Kyla's research.
Does it affect Dragonborn too?
Probably to a lesser degree. You just get a little bit crankier.
Ah, I can do that. Yuri folds his arms, pouting. We'll have to talk to the elves.
D&D, why Draco Rage?
But why though?
But why?
You know, I could ask Eric. I bet he knows.
D&D, dragons, they can't even.
Okay,
Yeah, it says the Draco Rage mythal. It was created during the time of dragons by high mages of the fair folk. This high magic affected Effect tied Faerun-wide Mythal to the King Killer Star. I don't know what the heck that is. That looks like a comet.
And the Draco Rage is happening right now, right? That's part of the...
No, it's not actually. It's not happening right now.
So she's just being a stuck-up lady.
Yeah. She feels personally slighted by this. But I don't know why else did it. But convincing an elven king to apologize for something is probably not going to be an easy thing to do. But Kai just said, "It will be done."
Well, can I retroactively have Yuri jump in before we formally agree to it to say one more thing to her?
That's
sure.
Question for Kaylee. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Where he just says, "So you would... I understand the severity of what has been done, and I don't agree with it, but it's not happening right now, and you would relegate the rest of the world to death because of your injured pride."
Nice.
You little stinker. Let's see. Oops, I don't have my PDF opened up.
Yeah, we don't have to agree to it. It's just that it was just a moment of awkward silence. So I was like, well...
No, and that's fine. I didn't understand the context of the situation.
Right.
So I
Okay.
made sure I acted appropriately.
Word of the Dragon Queen. Rise of Tiamat. There we go. Where are we at? We're in the Metallic Dragons of Rise. Let's see if I can... Who are we talking to? Eleuthera. And then I've changed these guys around. All right. You know when like a child is like trying to insult an adult? It's like, what you said was awesome and I think it's cool, but the dragon's going to try to play it off as it just smiles and says, I don't expect someone like you to understand. This is what is required. If you cannot do it, then we will help in our own way.
If it's such a big problem, then why haven't you fixed it in the past?
If it was within our power to do so, we would.
And it's in our power to do so? How is that possible?
It was within their power to create it. Surely they can unmake it.
I'm not being picky here, but we're not elves. None of us are elves. I don't know why you're bringing this issue to us personally, not to insult you in any way, you big... beautiful sir.
You would condemn all mortals for the role of some. Perhaps in being the bigger dragon you will show them that they were wrong to do so? Is this a schoolyard where we carry messages between wounded parties?
Dude, oh my gosh. You do get some chuckles and some clicks from the crowd. What kind of role would you like to make here?
Let's see here. I don't feel like it's an intimidate.
No.
It could be a persuade. It could be a performance. Because he
Feels
is
like a
sort of.
performance.
I think it feels more like performance because he is trying to put on a show for the crowd to sort of
Right.
shame this person into status loss, I guess. Is that track?
Yeah. Okay. So let's set up some stakes.
Could I support? Because that cat was a little mouthy too.
Yeah, but you called Eleuthera a sir, and
It's SER.
Oh, ignited. Okay.
oh wait, is Eleuthera? I can't remember if Eleuthera's a boy or girl myself. Hold on
She
one
doesn't
sec.
know.
I know you don't know.
Dragon.
I guess my baseline assumption was ending in an A, but that might not be appropriate given the setting.
Mhm.
You do have he written in your notes here.
Yep, male brass dragon. You're good. You're good.
Oh, look at that. Oh, good. I out of character called them a wounded lady. I did
Right.
not call them a lady in character, so thankfully I didn't get that wrong. We're doing great, you guys. This is awesome.
Champions of the realm.
I think this is going to be a hard roll. So I'm thinking probably a DC 16 to like what's your goal here? Like when this roll succeeds, what do you want to happen?
I think my Yuri's ultimate goal here is to, if this is the first instance of somebody is putting their pride above the good of the world, he wants to pop that balloon immediately by shaming this person to the rest of the crowd so that if anybody else is going to bring up these stupid prideful grievances, they think twice about it.
It's
So
like wrestling. It's like
this
wrestling.
is
You're gonna make them the heel.
yeah, this is exactly. So this is partly setting the tone of the conversation and being a blunt force with how important what's going on is right up front. And hopefully to, entertain them or shame them enough to realize that they've kind of dug a hole here that it would be better to just get out of now by acquiescing or agreeing that maybe they have a bit of a point.
All right. So
Doug has steepled his fingers in front of his face very briefly.
waiting.
Can I maybe this might be a stretch?
That's my favorite thing to hear in a TTRPG session.
Well, and I don't know how this in character. Yuri would not know how this goes over, but one of my paladin oath spells that I've never used before, that I know all the time, is enhance ability, and I can bestow myself with magical something that would give me advantage on charisma checks.
Okay. So succeeding at this, I think it's going to like forcibly put the it's going to forcibly move this person's from cautious to neutral. So if you succeed on it, that's going to happen. And what on a failure, let's see. I think it's just going to double down and have its pride wounded, and it's going to shift down.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. Being unfriendly.
And I think a concession, like doing that concession, I think that bumps them up two pips. So it's not like a deal breaker if that happens. I'm thinking it's going to be DC 16. And yeah, I think it's going to be DC 16.
Okay. Is it okay if I cast enhance ability on myself? Or would I know that that's a faux pas? Like,
what does that do for you? And
chat here.
And how long does it last?
It lasts up to an hour. Yeah, I don't want to use this to cheese an encounter, so I'm cool with that being a no. I just like the visual of Yuri using his paladin oath to boost his crowd pleasing ability.
I could totally see you like starting the day with that on this day in particular. Like, right. I think it's fun.
Okay. Well, then I will cast that on myself. It used it again. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. I definitely want this to work, just because I think it's thematically cool. Performance, go! Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is Yuri, like, really pulling back to his days in the gladiatorial pits when it was about showmanship and making the crowd entertained, at least. So I think he knows that everybody likes an easy target to laugh at that's not them, and that it's also personal for them because they all probably have wounded pride about stuff. So being able to look down on one of their own about it makes them feel even better about it.
Oof.
Very nice. Very nice.
Nice. All right. So a little more information. So long before Zuzki, member of chat, says, long before the Crown Wars, there was the Age of Dragons. Dragons ruled over all other races, their food stock with impunity. The Elven High Mages, working in secret in the Northern Glacier, weaved a giant mythal over all of Faerun. The Draco Rage Mythal. This mythal would induce insanity and rage upon the dragons, causing them to attack and destroy anything in their path. This included their layers, offsprings, followers, anything. Reduced to mere rampaging beasts, the dragons could no longer rule absolute over all of the races. They had won a fighting edge over the dragons. So...
so that they wouldn't be authoritarian rulers that made us all slaves.
When you put it like that...
Yes, and would you have asked them kindly to not call you authoritarians? I'm sure they asked you very politely many, many times to not give you all of their food and treasure.
Yeah, maybe... so some of this may have been lost in history, like maybe this dragon doesn't even know like that cause, because this happened like millennia and millennia ago.
And would not be something Yuri knows unless Kyla knew and then shared that.
This would,
yeah, she did research it briefly, so...
Thank you for that information.
Yeah, this would have been, like, in the first age or whatever, like, before mortals kind of came into their own power.
People literally sitting here like, it was great when we were in charge of everything. You guys remember that?
That was awesome.
It's pretty cool.
I think your great, like 5 minutes later, great-great-grandfather used to work for me. Sure.
It's good work if you can get it. Authoritarian government. So yeah, thanks a bunch, Zuzki.
Yeah, thanks. It's really cool.
Very cool. I love having people in chat that know what the heck they're talking about. So yeah, you... You give your impassioned speech, and Corulius backs down. You don't agree to the concession, which is fine. Pretty much, if you do agree to the concession and you get King Melindrak to like convincing him to do that would have like lowered his opinion. So it's kind of a give and take type of thing. So yeah, Eleuthera has moved up to... I'm going to use Y to signify that's where we've moved to.
Cool. So
we can keep track of where we started at. I guess that doesn't matter.
I think as this is happening, or after Yuri finishes speaking, while everything is sort of settling, he turns to Kyla and gives her sort of a worried and questioning brow, like, was that okay?
Yeah, she just nods. Gives a thumbs up.
Oh, he looks markedly relieved at your reinforcement and nods to that, and then turns to everyone else and gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, you also get just a subtle nod or a raised eyebrow from both Aurignus and Corulius, the bronze and gold.
Cool.
Cobus is not so subtle. He's like, "Oh, that is great, man!" And he has just a huge, wide grin with 2 thumbs up.
Nice.
So if but Eleuthera probably isn't super, like, personally he's not super pleased with you. Publicly, he's moved up to neutral, and he's waiting to hear what other things are being said. All right. So Taz McKellar, she's the copper. She's female. She says, speaking of the bigger dragon, the bigger person, I couldn't help but notice that ring on your finger. You didn't happen to know of a dragonborn named Balasar, did you?
He is a little wary, but steps up and nods, and he says, never knew him personally, but I believe he was a bit of a rogue, a swashbuckling bard. I've heard stories about him, and they abruptly ended, but it looked like they ended in the lair of Frostheart, who we ended.
So, when you say rogue, I think you have the right of it. He had stolen that ring from my lair.
Can he tell if she's being truthful?
Yeah, I was about to say, can I roll insight on that?
Let's see. I think you just know she's telling the truth. Yeah, I don't think you have to make an insight check.
And was this the Ring of the Ram?
Yeah, the Ring of the Ram.
Okay. He looks down at it, clenches his fist, and looks back up to her.
He was a very skilled orator and had a silver tongue. Sometimes he used it to lie and swindle people out of their things. He stole it from my lair. I never was able to track him back down.
Yuri considers this for a long moment and then steps forward and offers a bow of respect to her and says, I can only offer my apologies for progenitors to whom I related by blood, but not by deed. He pulls the ring off of his finger and holds it up and says, I would return it to you now if you ask, as it is yours by right. Although, if you were kind enough to loan it to me until all of these misdeeds have been put to rest, I would be much obliged to your kindness.
She considers that a moment and says, you will return it to me when this work is done?
You have my word. I will return it, as it is yours. But I believe I can put it to use in the meantime.
With that, she dips her head down and says, "By all means, if it will help us put a stop to this, then by all means, take it." And with that, she says, "I will pledge the copper wing to the fight ahead."
Offers her another bow and says, "Thank you for your kindness, my lady," and backs up.
And that was kind of her concession. So she just immediately jumps 2 steps up to friendly.
Yuri can always find more cool stuff.
Yeah. Plus, you get to keep this one for a little while.
And he does know the stories about who they were, and he's not a thief himself, so he's definitely opposed to that. He's got his own name to think of. He can't have this other name bringing his name down.
No. Let's see. Is there anybody you want to socially attack next?
Why do you say it like that?
I'm happy to do less talking here if anybody has cool stuff they want to do. I will support that.
Do the dragons that are still neutral have anything to say?
Let's see here. What did these people want in my notes?
What would make a dragon turn so neutral?
Aurignus has watched the lesser races for long centuries from the plains and understands that every individual humanoid possesses the potential for good or evil in equal measure. He is truly undecided and will weigh all options for action against the cult.
So he's smart.
Yeah, the wisest of dragons. He's known as like I think he exists on the plane of knowledge and hangs out with like a couple of gods even. So it's just kind of what he does. It's no big deal.
Bahamut is my co-pilot.
But
Victor Steele moment.
he is concerned about the mass and what fate they are going to meet. Leaving it in the hands of mortals seems like a bad idea. And let's see who else is doing stuff. Rhyme. What plans do you have for that artifact, young Kyla?
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Mom's talking to me.
Yep.
Alright, sorry, I'm back. She'll say, well, we were holding on to it in the meantime, mostly because we didn't trust other people with it, and...
I know how you feel.
Yes, I do intend to research it at some point when it's safe to do so, but after that, we'll probably have them destroyed. I think they're too unsafe to continue to exist in this world.
Having them destroyed will be possibly an impossible task. Those are divine artifacts. Part of Tiamat's divine spark exists within each one. I don't believe you could destroy it unless you completely destroyed Tiamat, which is something that no one has been able to do. And as long as they exist in this world, then there will always be a danger of Tiamat returning. I would ask that... Have you used the mask?
We have not. We have looked at them. Wait, did she actually put it on briefly?
No, she didn't put it on. She just looked at it.
Yeah, we've looked at it, and we've. No. I'm talking about Kyla. Did she ever put it on briefly, or did she just touch it?
Oh no, you never did. Like you
Okay.
touched it. You got like a flash of vision from.
Gotcha. Yeah, she'll say, I've touched it before, but I've never put it on. I've been worried about what the effects might be, even though I have researched it thoroughly.
He nods at your wisdom. It's like, do you plan to use it in the upcoming fight? It is quite powerful.
Only if absolutely necessary. If possible, we will avoid using it, simply because fighting against Tiamat with one of our own artifacts, I'm not sure exactly how that would go, if that would give her an advantage or a disadvantage, so in my opinion, we should use it as a last resort.
I would ask that you give the mask to me and all of the masks that you find. I think it will be safer in the care of a dragon. Adventurers have a tendency to get themselves killed eventually. And when that happens, it's by the hands of something evil or vile. And that's how these artifacts keep getting back in circulation, if you will.
Out of character, what does everybody else think?
Which
I'm all
dragon
for
is
it.
asking this? I'm sorry.
Orignus, the golden dragon.
I'm all for giving it back. As
It's-
Cobus.
I the only thing about it that was appealing to me as a player was that it had the potential to recharge breath weapons, but I think the negatives for that outweigh the positives for my character. I don't know if Kyla would get use out of it, but I'm fine handing it over. That makes sense to me from a story perspective as well.
Yeah, and I think this dragon is very credible. I have no concern of him, like, suddenly going rogue and...
It's a gold dragon, right? Like that's your brand too. That's your line.
Yeah, here is, let's see, Dragon Breath, Dragon Sight, Dragon Tongue, Legendary Resistance. If you fail a saving throw, you can choose to succeed it instead. You get to Water Breathe with the Black Dragon Mask, and you have resistance to acid damage. So, it's pretty handy. I'm good. But
Acid. It's good, but I mean, if it gets us the support of the Dragon Council, then that could be a greater benefit. Who knows? If you as a player want to hang on to the mask to do cool stuff with it later, that is more important to me than handing it over to him.
I think that if we handed it over to him now, then that would be fine, because she can always just go back and ask, hey, would it be alright if I looked at this mask for a few seconds just so I could take some notes about it and then put it in a book somewhere. But I think she might be able to do that later if she wanted to, but she already has taken a few notes on it, I think.
oh yeah, you've researched it thoroughly, and so has Nikolai.
The one thing I'm worried about is this dragon. Like, I truly believe that this dragon is good and noble, but I'm also worried about the evil effects of the mask, and, you know, if it might try to corrupt him, or also if he gets bribed, because dragons mostly care about, usually, wealth and power. Metallic dragons are just usually good, so...
I can go ahead and tell you out of character that the mask has no chance of corrupting this guy. This guy is a credit to his species. He's like the goodest, the lawfulest, and the wisest. He's like, this is what he's known for, kind of. And if you give the mask to him, then it gets taken out of the campaign, more or less. You can still do things like research it and talk to him about it if you want, but yeah, it's going to be 100% safe if you give it to him.
Right. Yeah, unless anyone else has any reason for keeping it, I think it probably would be a good idea to hand it over.
I'm all for it.
Sounds good.
Same.
All right. You pull it out again and again. Everybody's eyes are drawn to it, and even Lightbringer stirs and takes in a deep breath and wakes up. He smiles when he sees you, but then narrows his eyes at the artifact when he sees it. Orignus collects it into his hand, waves it over, and obviously casts some sort of magical spell, and it disappears.
As she's handing it over, she'll say, I'm sure you're aware, but be warned that Tiamat can see and hear through the mask.
Yes. Thank you for the warning. And he says, I believe these heroes are the right ones to ally with. If they say joining the council is a good idea, then I shall pledge the gold dragons. this cause. Let's see. We've got Rhyme and Corellius already voted. Yeah. So you have convinced the dragons to join. That's 3 out of the 5. But there's still more you could do here.
4.
There is Rhyme.
What do we know about Rhyme?
Neutral if the party includes 1 or more dwarves. She is instead unfriendly. Thinks the dragon should wait it out. All other cults have failed throughout history. She was the one that was basically saying, like, yeah, it's a big deal, but is it really? Like, should we be risking our lives for this? I think the mortals have it. We'll help in peripheral ways by making sure the cult stays contained in wherever they're calling home base, but wasn't really worried about the mask. Let's see, what else can I tell you about her? She was one of the ones that you've kind of cowed into being quiet because she had kind of a petty, not quite petty demand. But she doesn't seem to be offering up much information. Let's see here.
So we're still just looking for a formal, open pledge of support from her.
Yeah.
She might go along with it, but if we get her to say or do something here in front of everyone, it'll get us more.
Yeah. So right now she's at the neutral. At the neutral point. So
does anybody have any specific ideas? Or should we just directly address her in front of everyone and put her on the spot?
I mean, that sounds smart. Peer pressure.
Okay. Can certainly do that.
Yeah, you have enough votes to where like those are going to happen. Like the silver dragons and even the brass dragons are going to be participating. But if you can get everybody up to friendly, then there's like some bonuses that can happen and be shared with the party.
Kaylee/Kyla, what can you tell us about silver dragons through your dragon lore and your knowledge that might help us butter them up in this situation?
Silver dragons, they really like humans in particular, not just humanoid. They like to be in humanoid form quite a bit. Let's see.
They like revelry, right? Like going to parties, having a nice time, eating human food.
Yeah, a little bit. And yeah, they like a lot of stuff about humans. Like one of the main things is they like how determined they are. And since they have such a short lifespan, that they have such a drive to do still amazing things.
Wow, these kids got gumption.
Do you think Kyla would be the best person to appeal because she's human, although she's a Dragonblood sorcerer?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. For some reason, I thought I was an elf. I have no idea why. I was like,
talk to the Elf King.
Okay.
Not an elf, but just like, yes, definitely not human. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, you're a Dragonblood sorcerer, so your blood is different. But if they do like revelry, we can promise them a banquet and spreading, tales of their daring do and all that good stuff, which Yuri will, of course, do anyway.
Yeah, that sounds cool. We might be able to do that.
Is there a particular type of treasure they like?
Let me think. It's been a while since I've researched silver dragons.
Have this greatsword as a toothpick.
I'm sure I think it's an advantage on everything.
Plus my flossing.
obviously silver. Most dragons like magic items, especially the metallics. Let's see. They would also like diamonds and sapphires, most likely. Glass, and I think art. I think silver dragons really like art.
Well, if I know anything about diamonds from various James Bond theme songs, they have the longest. Okay, fish. It's too dumb. Sorry, diamonds are forever. Moving on. So are dragons. It checks out. Dumb joke.
It was a fun journey.
It was fun. Maybe it's fun.
That song.
Yeah, out of character, I can go ahead and tell you, like, the concession that she wanted was the skin of her slain niece was used to make armor for the dwarf lord that slew her.
Well, we gotta go get that back.
And she
God, that's horrible.
And she demands the remains be returned, and the ambassador Braun Anvil make an apology on behalf of all dwarves. Yeah, that all these dragon moots, or basically hunts, have caused. And that happened about 400 years ago.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's understandable.
But like one of the things that Doug wanted to happen is like he didn't want any more like petty grievances, and that's a little bit petty, I think, to say, hey, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I would agree with that. So out of character, apologies if I've shut this door for us, but I think X's read on the situation is probably accurate, and that it's the same, but it is different, but it's similar, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's more personal, though, to know that there's some guy walking around in the skin of your sister that hasn't apologized for it.
That dwarf would not still be alive, though.
Dwarves live a long time.
Dwarves live like 3 to 350 or something.
Yeah,
that could still be around.
That dwarf is not around, but that is now a family heirloom and has been passed down to whatever dwarves. It's probably in possession of either Braun Anvil or some member of his court.
As a player, oof, that sucks.
Yeah. Also, I mean, like, empirically good dragons that you're just like, I'm still gonna skin you. At least we have dragon scale made out of evil dragons.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious to know why they slayed his niece or her niece in the first place. Like,
probably the Draco Rage.
Could have been Draco Rage. It could have been dwarf. Like dragons like treasure, dwarves like treasure, and sometimes silver dragons live in mountains. Dwarves live in mountains, so sometimes stuff just happens.
Best frenemies.
Yep.
Get off of my lawn! You're on my lawn. Dragons see dwarves as gophers on their lawn.
And I'm sure dwarves are just fine with that.
Oh, Eric did send me a message about the Draco Rage, and his too long didn't read for what he sent was, the elves created a ward that is believed to have sent dragons into a rage, like reverse catnip. Thank you, Eric.
That's wonderful. What an evocative description.
Delightful. So yeah, you can just try and convince her, like through skill checks or bribery or whatever. It doesn't have to be like this concession.
Right. Let's see here. That's the type of thing. So I'll say right now, Yuri is going to try to talk to Eleuthera after the council to sort of polish things over. If we ever found out about that small ask, that is something that I would, as a player, certainly bring up, when we're talking to them to try to barter it out. But I would also say that, given how we reached this point, it would make sense if they were just like, nope, not going to bring that up, because look at what happened to them. So, if we're just trying to appeal to them.
Cool. Yeah, that's totally doable.
I think we should offer just as a favor and just say, no, you know what? That's pretty bad. We'll be happy to, at the very least, talk to the guy, even though we can't promise that anything will come of it.
Yeah, we can
be happy to speak on your behalf.
We can say like you guys find out about that somehow, like later on, like but kind of the way the story went. It doesn't have to go this way. We can say, okay, yeah, you guys find out about it. She makes this demand, or maybe she made that demand first, and you guys were like, hey, yeah, cool. But yeah, if you agree to do that, the thing that's going to happen is, right now, yeah, her step's going to go up to friendly. She'll pledge openly. And then, what else? But that is going to lower probably Braun Amble's opinion of the, like, he's having to give up a powerful magic item to get the support of the dragons. And I'm sure he feels completely wronged, or like his ancestors were justified in killing this silver dragon and all that fun stuff. So if we go the concession route, then yeah, you can just bump it up to friendly, agree to do that, and get that apology from...
Ooh, Eric said more about the niece that was killed.
Yeah. We'll put a pin on that for 1 second.
Yeah.
Maybe we could try to trade one of the suits of white dragon armor from what we've slayed for the silver dragon armor.
That would definitely lessen the blow, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Taisha would be a good sport.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I think you have 2 sets, actually.
Yeah.
Don't we have... do we have a set of green scale mail, or no?
It wasn't big enough.
Yeah, because I remember we killed 2 green dragons, but I remember we didn't skin the first one.
Yeah. Maybe in the future. But yeah, out of character, I would be happy to trade one of those to lessen the blow to the dwarf, to try to quid pro quo, but
sure.
I don't even care if we appeal to the reasoning behind it. Just, you gotta admit that it's kind of weird that you're wearing the skin of this other dragon's family, so...
So are you making rolls, or are we just going to go with that concession route?
I like the idea that we find out about that at a later time, maybe from one of the other dragons, or maybe Sirocco knows about it and slips that and is like, hey, you were buttering that up, here's one thing you could do for them that, based on what you already did, they wouldn't want to tell you about.
Sure.
Surprise them.
Okay, I like that. So then would you like to make some kind of roll that has some interesting consequences?
Sure. Kyla, do you want to help me with that, or can I help you with that as you're human and might be better suited?
Yeah, sure. So maybe I guess persuasion roll. That makes the most sense to me in this case.
All right. What's kind of your general argument for... she thinks they should just wait it out. It's kind of her opinion.
General argument would be that we might not have the time to wait it out. Like the cult is going to keep acting, and they're going to keep advancing their plan. So unless we counter that, they're going to grow stronger and stronger until there's not much we can do about them.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a... hold on, before I do that, let me look at the PDF real quick, see if they gave a DC for this. I don't think they did, but it seems like everybody's already on board, and so I'm thinking this will be a DC 14.
Nice.
And...
Nice.
Woohoo!
Doubles.
All right, that bumps her up to friendly. So Eleuthera is sitting at neutral. You have 4 of the 5 dragons at friendly. You can call it here, or you can try to just appeal to like the dragons in a couple of different ways, I think. Does anybody have any ideas on how they might be able to bump this guy up from neutral to friendly? Or at least his faction. Right now, his personal opinion is unfriendly.
Yeah, so my plan for maybe after the council was for Yuri to go and talk to him and do a formal apology that would go something along the lines of, I believe what I said, although I know my presentation was crude. I hope that you can view my overt actions as, desperation for how serious the situation really is and why we truly cannot afford to have, hurt feelings get in the way of that, but you have my word that I'll speak with the Elf King, and I can't make guarantees for his actions, but I'll speak on your behalf, and advocate your ability to set aside your personal wants and for the good of all, and you'll bring honor to the brass dragonflight, and I carry words of your selfless deeds forward, and all that good stuff. So
Cool.
So if he gets a read that would be better to do still at the council, at the end of things, but my worry for that would be that he would still view that as part of the performance and not take it seriously. So I think he would probably save that for afterwards, so it felt more personal. So I don't know if anybody else has any ideas, but I'd love to hear them if you do.
That sounds pretty good.
Well, one thing that the Dragon Cult has been doing is they've been amassing just treasure and treasure and treasure. So part of the ritual is to amass this massive dragon hoard of treasure to help bring Tiamat out of hell and into the prime material plane. One thing you could do is dedicate a share of that treasure to the Council of Dragons as a whole, as kind of a way of just playing to the dragon's natural greed.
Well, I want to make sure we get some good treasure ourselves. Well, Maddie in a story perspective at that point. So.
It's like Smog's hoard, like that level of not quite a mountain of gold, but a ton of money. Like if you gave a share, after this, you guys are going to be, if you survive, you're going to be heroes and never have to work another day in your life. So
I got an idea.
Go for it.
What if Kyla offers to create a painting to the Silver Dragon of either the council chambers or of the Silver Dragon himself?
Ooh. That sounds cool.
That's cool. Yeah, the brass dragon is the one we're trying to convince here. But yeah, I like the idea.
That's cool, and we already know they're prideful.
They are prideful.
Full of pride. This baby can fit so much pride in it.
Don't slap me.
Whack!
Bites itself.
All right. Yeah, let's I guess do some sort of art roll if you want. Hold off before rolling. Good a good roll here, I think gets the brass dragon on board. And a poor roll, like a failure, just he's still going to be helping, but he's going to develop a petty hatred of the party, and he's going to inhibit your actions in subtle dragony ways. I think the DC here, he's got kind of hurt feelings here. I think it's going to be a 15.
Would it help at all to show him some of my previous drawings? Because I had some really good rolls on those.
Yeah. I think you can have advantage on the roll.
Alright, cool.
I like that this is happening in front of the entire council.
May I assist Kyla by druid crafting some really brilliant glittering flowers that you can make into paints and dyes?
Ooh, yeah, maybe you could do a brewer thing or something and make some special inks or something. Go ahead and give yourself +2 more to whatever you roll.
Alright, what do you think would be good? Performance? Maybe
performance, persuasion,
even though performance is lower for me, I feel like that makes a little bit more sense. So
if you're trained with paints or something like that, it could also just be a proficiency tool roll with it using dexterity or something. Maybe.
Yeah, she does have proficiency in drawing tools.
Yep. So
But
you can
that's
do.
like a custom thing, so it's not really set up. So
Let's see here. Let me look at your sheet real quick. Just roll a d20 and see what we're adding to it.
oh,
Well,
Oh, 2d20, but 19 or 18, either one of those is fine.
sorry, I thought you said I had advantage.
Yeah. You're fine. Like this is without adding anything to it, with Cobus's help and with with advantage and all that fun stuff. So yeah, you convince Eleuthera. You will commemorate, like, he wants. He's trying to save a little bit of face. So what he wants is. He wants you to get all the dragons in there to commemorate this moment in time where humanoids have come up and helped convince the dragons of the right course of action and all that fun stuff. So he's on board and has pledged the brass dragon wing as well. Nice work, guys.
Is it the birth of Adam where they're doing like the finger? Is that it?
Something like that.
Like our party is on one side, we're so tiny, and the rest of the portrait is just all the dragons pointing claws down.
With the god rays.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And the bat in the background for some reason.
And there's me. Bad luck for you, Chad.
All right. Well, with that, the council business is mostly taken care of. We're about at the halfway mark. So, is there anything else anybody wants to do before we take a short break?
Nothing I can think of.
Either here or after the break. I do. Maybe we already just covered everything because I summarized. But I was going to say Yuri does want to go and talk to Eleuthera to make that formal apology and promise that he will go and speak to the Elf King, and that he'll advocate for Eleuthera's generosity and agreeing to that and being humble about it moving forward to try to smooth things over. Also understanding if he doesn't accept the apology.
Yeah. Give me a performance roll. I think he's a little bit miffed at you right now, so probably difficulty 17. And success, you're good. Failure, he's like, I don't like your attitude, chump. You little wormling.
Do I still have my enhanced ability running?
Yeah, you'll have that.
25.
Heck yeah.
These rows, though.
Mm-hmm.
Getting it where it counts, you guys. We're doing great.
Heck yeah.
He accepts your apology. I know it may seem like a small thing to you, but I know dragons that have killed their mates, killed their children because of this. It is a serious thing. It isn't as petty as you made it out to be. But thank you for speaking to Melindrak on my behalf.
I think hearing that, Yuri deflates a little bit and has an introspective moment and hangs his head and says, "You shame me rightfully, and I again apologize for my impertinence. I will speak with him."
And with that, which one's the chatty dragon? Is that brass or bronze, kiddo?
Brass.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the seeds for my character. Was I read that and I was like, "Oh, perfect,
perfect." All right. So, yeah, and he warms up a little bit. Probably you guys go your separate ways for like the night, but then like the next morning, he's in there talking your ear off about different things and where he plans to pledge different assets, where he thinks a good spot would be to set up. Let's see, and What else is happening? That's pretty much it. I think Lightbringer would make sure to spend some time with Kyla. And the dragons will pose so you can get your sketch in and outline of what you plan to do. And yeah, I think that wraps up the council meeting.
Awesome.
Done.
Nice
Great
work.
job, everybody.
Yay!
Oh, Jackie kicks in the door and she's here now.
Oh my gosh, Jackie.
You just missed. They just got the last dragon up to friendly. So one of the things that comes of this is the gold dragon or the metallic dragons and their people. They have 100 dragon hordes at their disposal. If you want pretty much any magic item, they are going to be willing to loan it to you on the promise that you'll return it when all this nonsense is done.
Wowza.
There's one that I've been hoping to get for a really long time, but it's meant for a higher level.
Okay.
So, yeah, so my thought was either I could just wait, or I could, take a look at the stats and, turn it down, or just make it less powerful.
Well, at the very end of this campaign, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be fighting a god, so I think it's okay to, loan it for the last battle.
Okay.
And let you have fun. So just let me know what that is. So be thinking about that.
Yeah, it is.
I might say no. So.
Oh yeah. It's called the Robe of Stars.
Ooh, neato.
It allows you to do a little bit of astral plane stuff, and it looks like a galaxy, and there's stars you can take off and cast magic missile at 5th level or something. It's really cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's really pretty too.
Can I share your artwork that you shared with me, Allie?
Which one?
The galaxy dress one of your commissioned character?
Oh, that one's still a secret.
Okay, then I won't share it. I'll show you later, kiddo, but I won't share it on stream.
I'm sorry, what was it? A galaxy dragon?
A galaxy. She has this galaxy dress on. It just looks really pretty.
Oh, I see.
It's a character concept for an upcoming game we're involved in, but it's still under wraps.
It's super secret, so. All right. Papa Nacho said, Yuri, get a Holy Avenger.
I will consider. Yuri uses his fist, though. So Yuri's not going to be getting any probably crazy magic item for his weapon.
Holy Avenging Brass Knuckles.
There you go. I'll avenge you right out of this bar.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'll avenge you to the next plane.
We're going to take a short break, quick bathroom break, and then we'll come back and head back to Waterdeep.
Cool.
Sounds
I'll
good.
Be right back.
And we're back. Boop, boop, boop. Cool. Welcome back, everybody. So we finished up our council meeting here. Where are we going to next? I think we'll swing over to the Sword Coast for just a little bit.
What are these mooks doing?
We were way the heck up here in Silvermoon, kind of the mountain here where this golden dragon head has been artfully drawn the first day that we did this. And Rhyme, the ancient silver dragon, is going to give you a lift back to Waterdeep. So it takes another couple of days. Again, it's like in the early parts of the trip, it's just really exciting and exhilarating. But then if you've ever been on a really long plane ride, it can get kind of boring pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing every once in a while you'll be flying over a road and see like caravans. It's just like teeny tiny little dots moving up the teeny tiny little toy carts moving up the road in one direction or another. You do see the impact of the cult pretty much everywhere that you've flown, and can see where some people have made stands and see certain battles that have gone either one way or the other. Every once in a while you'll see the smoking remains of what was once a village or a burned out section of forest. But yeah, the trip back is uneventful. Ain't nobody going to be messing with a silver dragon with a high-level adventuring party on its back.
I'm sure somebody could, but I
Somebody
don't
could.
want to meet them.
No, sir. No, ma'am. But yeah, you make it back on the outskirts of Waterdeep. She lands near the forest on the borders of the town. And let's see. There's a hawk that started flying with you as you got a little bit closer. And Cobus, you recognize this is a shapeshifted druid. You're not sure who it is, but you recognize it as it's definitely someone. Because a hawk probably wouldn't be coming so close to a predator on its own, even a good one like this. Yeah, but she lands, kicking up a wave of dirt. The caravans on the road nearby just all stop and gawk at the Defiant Dawn coming in on the back of this huge ancient silver dragon. And this hawk, as it lands, takes the form of Delmar Winterhorn. He's one of the Lords of Waterdeep. He's the guy of the Emerald Enclave.
Oh yeah.
Let's see where we're at with him. I think he's like super high tier with you guys. I think he's your GM only, not on my watch. Alright, let's see.
I feel like we've been pretty good with the Emerald Enclave the whole time.
Yeah, they've had nothing but good things to say about you. Kill all them bad dragons, moving stuff forward. Killed Resimir, yep. Actually, it looks like Silverhand, Doggolt, Neverember are both a little bit higher than him, but still, a 6 is at the point where he's already ready to pledge his support and ready to go fight these mean old dragon people.
Nice.
Excuse me. Alright, but yeah, the silver dragon has been keeping an eye on this thing and probably recognizes him for who he is. And when she lands, she kneels down on one side so you can slide off her back. He takes the shape of a man, and just mid-flight, his hawk swoops down and bats its wings a few times and halts its forward momentum, and then just transforms into a man walking towards you. Let's see. His wild black hair matches his unkempt beard. Let's get back over to here so you can see the picture that I'm describing, maybe.
And this is the guy who's transforming from an animal form?
Yeah. Where'd it go? I just had my notes.
Oh, he looks cool.
Yeah, on Winterhound.
Yeah.
Frosty Dog.
He's his wild black hair matches his unkempt beard, and his leather overcoat he's wearing is trimmed in fur. He doesn't appear to be wearing any visible weapons. He approaches you just in the gesture of hands wide to show, hey, this is a friendly meeting. He says, "How'd the council go?"
Oh, it went swimmingly well. I think we have the support of, if not all, but certainly the majority of the people that are in control.
Excellent. There's no time to waste at the Waterdeep Council. There's a green dragon bearing a rider with a green dragon mask in the Misty Forest, and you recognize that as King Melindrak's lands. It's obliterated almost every elf village it's attacked. Melindrak says it ain't a problem anymore because it stopped attacking his people. But now it's starting to hit other towns outside the Misty Forest. Melindrak can't really spare the troops, and I'm sure he'd resist having troops enter his lands to track down the dragon. Plus the dragon, if it saw the troops, it'd just leave. I think it'd be a good idea if you guys put a stop to that.
Wait, where's the Misty Forest? There, okay.
Ooh, where do you see it? Oh, there it is.
Right over here.
Yeah,
I was really concerned that it was Neverwinterwood for a second.
No, we're good.
So out of character, this is a perfect opportunity for us to be like, hey, we're here working on behalf of, this silver dragon. Mm-hmm. No, that was a different one. The brass dragon. It was Eleanor. I already lost my notes. Eleuthera. Like, I'm doing this on behalf of Eleuthera. They sent us back here to help you, so maybe you could find it in your heart to apologize.
This guy is not the king. He is. He is a member of the Emerald Enclave. The other guy, I'll go pull him.
But King Melindrak is the elf lord who is responsible.
Yeah,
but it's in his land.
It's in his lands.
So if we root the green dragon out of there, then we can use that as leverage on him to...
Absolutely.
That's a good call. Not something I had
green
considered.
Green dragons in my forest? It's more likely than you think.
Got me.
Well done.
Cool. But, he says, I guess he just kind of stands there just looking at what you have to say to that. Rhyme says, if you don't need anything else, I believe I'll be going.
Thank you for the ride.
She bows her head, says, thank you for convincing me and my dragon brethren to leave our lairs and to come fight the good fight. Sometimes we need that push in the right direction.
Don't we all?
And the wind whips past your hair. This just massive creature takes flight. Everybody over on the road is just like eyes locked on this just magnificently beautiful gleaming silver dragon. take flight.
That's right. We're pretty cool.
That's our Sunday vehicle.
My other wagon is a silver dragon.
Whatever happened to all our horses?
They're around.
Nice.
They're somewhere on this map.
My celestial stag pokes its head around a corner and then disappears again.
It goes, "Ooh," that scary elk
Yeah,
noise they
super
make.
scary.
Oh, God.
Terrifying.
Except it sounds like the hissing of atomic gases in the far reaches of space. Like,
I can see why people thought the Fae were in the wilds up in the deep north.
So what do you think, group? Should we hurry and try to help the king and his people?
I think if there's
It would be pretty rude not to. I mean, that.
Of course, this dragon must be stopped. But
And then-
to the guy, I forget what his name is. Delon?
Winterhound.
Yeah.
Dylan Winter.
She'll ask how big or how old the dragon is, if they have any information on it.
It is an adult. I think it's an adult. I'll have to go double check.
And is there like anything else they know about it? Like maybe its name or any magic items it may have?
Azaria Leafwalker is in the area, and she will be able to fill you in on more of the details.
I remember her! Out of character. She was cool. I like her.
Do we remember who the head of the Green Wing is? Who might be the one wearing the green dragon mask?
I think I have it in my notes. Let me
It
check.
was from my old notes from the previous stretch. Dude. Gotta pull it up.
Let's see here. Definitely not Frulom.
Update the counter.
It looks like I was going to write it down, but I ended up not. It says, Talus identifies the 5 leaders of the cultist worm speaker, each of whom has an affinity for a particular kind of chromatic dragon. The leaders' names are, and then there's just a tilde and a dot.
Ooh, I found it. I found it in mine.
Nice.
Resmir the Black, Severin the Red, Galvin the Blue, Narenvane the Green, and Varum the White.
Narrowbane.
They're on me.
So I'm just gonna highlight both of these with some red because we iced them. That's 2.
Now it's Talus the
3.
White.
Mm. Yeah, well, we
Karen's
have some
not here to
unfinished
yell about
business. Okay. So Narenvane. Do we know anything about Narenvane?
I don't think that you do. I think you've just heard the name.
That's fine.
But you've had a couple of you've had like months worth of prisoners to break down and interrogate. So or people have. So maybe they could tell you some information. He joined the cult like about a year ago and has just been rapidly rising up the ranks. He wound up killing someone that was betraying the cult, and that was like the tipping point that pulled him over into getting the green dragon mask.
Gotcha. How long has the campaign, like our in game, how long has the entire campaign taken? Like a couple of months so far?
There was like, I want to say it's closer to, let's see, it was 2 months just to do that like long trek from down there to there. Let's say we spent another couple of months down here in this area with Green Est and Burdusk and all that stuff. So probably about half a year.
Okay.
Like
Another rising star.
pretty much after every dungeon, I'm like advancing the time by about a month, I'd say.
Makes sense.
Give you guys some decent time for some downtime actions.
Smart. Cool. Well, I certainly don't have any problems taking the fight to them. It's good to know there's something happening that we can address.
I would agree.
And if it gives us a chance to capture another dragon mask.
Yes, I think it's an opportunity we can't pass up.
So did Kyla collected all the info?
Yep, he basically said that we'll need to talk to Azaria Leafwalker there, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and he says, well, if that's all, then follow me. And he starts walking towards the forest, and he has everybody hold hands, and then uses that same Leafwalker pendant that you have, Cobus.
Nice.
And pushes face first through this oak tree. And you feel like the scratchy bark go across your skin. For a second, you're just completely engulfed in this tree, and you can't breathe. But he's just pulling you forward, and whoop, you find yourself on the edges of the Misty Forest, right around here.
Oh my, we're literally going there right now.
I was just worried we'd have to walk.
Yeah, that's what he wants, but if you wanted to like do anything else before leaving, then just let him know.
Oh no, I just spent a very long time sitting. I'm ready. Unless anyone else has something.
Nope, I'm good.
Aster hops back in her lamp for the journey. She doesn't want to walk through a tree. Seems weird.
All right.
Oh, but that's great on the scales, I tell you.
I don't have them. Good night.
Oh, but taking deals from a demon, yeah, no, that's not a big deal.
No, not at all. He's
I'm sorry,
a
what
good
happened?
friend. My good friend, Lord Bulmer.
I don't think anyone knows about the deals except for why
Nope.
can't I select this?
Yuri will pick up Aster's lamp once she's inside and just say, well, okay.
Yeah, it probably gets dark in your lamp for just about 5-10 seconds, and then it's backlight again.
I'm gonna look to Yuri after she goes in the lamp and say, should we put it in the portable hole for safekeeping?
No.
You know, I remember some sort of interaction, whether good or bad, I can't remember.
On the off chance, it's good.
It's a moment of them standing there, like, scratching their chins. No, we better not risk it.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you find yourself in this like stepping through. Just there's a significant temperature change. It's a bit cooler here and definitely more damp, and you can see why the name of this forest it is called the Misty Forest. There's just this perpetual fog that's hanging in the air, and you can feel that if you've ever gone outside in that cool morning, you just feel like the fog condensing on your skin.
The dew.
Let's see. And yeah, when you come into a small clearing that's had a few tree limbs and branches and leaves just kind of shielding from the sky, acting as camouflage to basically hide this camp. And sitting on a nearby fallen log is Azaria Leafwalker. I think I have a picture of her somewhere. Maybe she was in the... Oops.
Yeah, she's in the session NPCs at the very, very bottom. Long auburn hair, vibrant emerald eyes, tall, fair-skinned elf. Her leather armor is well cared for, embossed with intricate leaf patterns.
There she is. Thank you, Douglas.
Yep.
But yeah, she gives a nod to Winterhound, and she welcomes you to her camp. I've been expecting you. Thank you for showing up. Here's what I've found out so far. The dragon has obliterated nearly every village it's come in contact with. One village, let me see my notes. It's like not Aster, but something like Aster.
Well, there's only one of me, so...
Go to page 38. That's the wrong episode. There were 2 worm speakers that we were supposed to kill, and this is the second one.
Mm-hmm. You guys talk to worms? Gross.
What is it, back for blood?
Dirty mouth.
They have some amazing recipes on how to eat dirt, I tell you.
So yeah, Altand is the name of the village that only about half of the people were killed instead of all of them, which has happened in almost every single one of the other villages. Altand. But I don't think stopping there is of any consequence. I think we should just attempt to track this beast down, find out where its lair is, and kill it.
That seems the most practical solution.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Simple enough.
What kind of a lair would the Green Dragon have?
Possibly somewhere underwater, possibly on the edge of a lake or some body of water. They do like to breathe underwater.
I heard green and just assumed trees.
What do you think, Kylan? Is there anywhere we should start our search?
Yes, like Azaria said, around bodies of water, they do prefer underwater caverns in large lakes for their homes, or just caves in general in the forest. Sometimes they'll inhabit abandoned structures, so they could also be in one of the villages that they've destroyed.
Well, if that seems most likely, then perhaps we'll check the village last if we can't find anything.
Sounds good.
Can Aster help find stuff at all? Let me check her
I guess first order of business is to look for, like, talon prints or any sign of a poisonous breath weapon or anything like that. Again, yeah, probably looking around bodies of water.
Disruption to the wildlife? Cobus, what do you think?
Yes, I think we should follow the trail of destruction, definitely. I can certainly ask the animals around if my friends here at the Enclave haven't already done so.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes, the dragon itself uses animal spies. I should like to cast, or maybe she brewed a potion or something like that. Actually, no. She will have already woven these necklaces out of just different forest materials, including like branches of a pine tree that are really young and pliable, different flowers, and it's almost like a Hawaiian lei, but instead of like flowers, it's just like branches and trees and leaves and a couple of flowers mixed in as well. And she says, "This will protect us from his spies." But yes, speaking to the animals, she has a good place to start, and she'll start leading you in a neck wreath. Good call. She starts leading you down in this kind of a southerly direction.
Yuri will trust the dragon.
Absolutely.
She's not a dragon. She's a wood elf.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said she was a dragon in like wood elf form.
Nope.
I misunderstood.
Sorry. Let's see. Well, if
Slightly less confident about walking in.
Let's see. Yeah, let's say tracking down this dragon's probably going to be an 8-tick clock.
But you see, I, as an illustrious dragon scholar.
Oh, yeah. So tell me what you're going to do. What do we got? 8-tick clock. Locate Chuth's lair. How do you want to go about filling up this clock?
Me?
The party.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were talking to me specifically. Alright. First order of business, I guess, look for specifically green dragon tracks. I imagine their talons would probably be slightly webbed, since they are amphibious, but
Sure.
not primarily water dragons. So I guess that would be a survival roll.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, success is going to get you 2 ticks of this clock. Using Oliver to scout perception. Very nice.
Nice.
Failure will be 1 tick, but also Chuth, the Chuth becoming aware of your presence. That'll get some ticks in it. Probably this is going to be 14, I think.
Alright, and would I have advantage because I'm a dragon scholar?
I think so, yeah. I think that would definitely apply here.
Did you say nature or survival?
Whichever one you want. I think both make sense.
Yeah, I'll do nature because that's slightly higher.
Oh, no!
Could I use a luck for that?
Sure. I'm going to go over to my...
A 16.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, on everybody's sheet, since I'm allowing up to 3 inspiration instead of just 1, I put that inspiration resource. Tried to do it next to your luck resource.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool.
Rise of Tiamat clocks and So,
I like that my damage is just labeled genie damage. Definitely genie.
I now have haste that I can cast on you.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
So you, yeah. So tell me what that looks like. Narrate a small scene for me.
Yeah, so I guess Kyla is looking near a body of water, and she probably notices a few, like a set of talon prints emerging from a lake or a pond or something, and upon looking closer, she realizes there's also a humanoid set of footprints beside them.
Mm.
And so she assumes that this is the green dragon they're looking for. since it has a rider.
That's cool.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah, since you included the rider with it, I think that's worthy of inspiration. That was a nice little detail you threw in there.
Yay! Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. Who else wants to help with this tracking down this green dragon?
Gonna do the Oliver thing?
Sure.
What should I roll for my good familiar Oliver?
Uh,
Would it be my perception since I can see through his eyes with my pact feature?
You could do that, or you could use his perception if it's better.
Let's see.
I think owls are supposed to be super perceptive, but maybe not.
It would make sense.
I mean, I do have a pretty good -1 to my regular perception. But Oliver has a +3, so I think that sounds better to me.
Yep. Let's see here. Here, for this one, I think it's going to be, since your owl is like a, since your owl is like this spiritual kind of magical creature that glows a little bit, I think a failure here is going to get even more attention from the dragon and his spies if you fail this. And maybe even if you succeed, we're going to tick one tick anyways.
Should I stealth as well? Because apparently Oliver has a +3 stealth.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to do a stealth. Let's see. Go for 14 stealth.
14 stealth?
And then a success will basically negate one of the ticks. Booyah.
Ooh, Oliver!
Alright, so now you can make your perception test. And again, 14 again.
And an owl familiar has the feature Keen Hearing and Sight, which means the owl has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing and sight.
There you go. I told
You
you
also have the... Sorry, go ahead.
I told you they were perceptive.
So very perceptive.
You also have the Voice of the Chainmaster, which lets you communicate telepathically and perceive through his senses.
Oh,
which is cool.
yes.
Wow.
Let's, with advantage. Oh my god!
There we go.
Oliver! Champion of all our hearts.
Oh.
Nice. So 2 ticks plus a third for beating it by more than 5.
Do
And
we have a clock on the board that we can see?
no, I have it in. If you watch my stream, you can see it.
Oh, okay.
So right now you're at 5 out of 8.
Nice.
So yeah, tell me what this looks like, Miss Allie.
So I think Oliver's always around, right? Like on Aster's shoulder, just flying around in circles, having a great Owlie time. But she brings him on her forearm real close to her ear and mouth, so she can confer. She doesn't need to do it this way, but for show, she's going to. So she whispers into his little owl ears and then jettisons him into the sky with the force of her, arm. And he does some wide circles, but we can't really see him on account of the trees. But no, he's doing it. And he flutters back down through a god ray, very dramatic.
Lots of God rays this episode.
Oh. That's the voice.
Jackie says, "You're so extra, and I love you." So yeah, it finds a couple of streams that you start investigating. Bigger rivers that are cutting a path through the forest, and you start exploring down that direction. So Chuth is still completely unaware that he has the Defiant Dawn rooting around in his lair or in his forest. So who else wants to help track down this dragon?
Yuri, you got an idea?
I have an idea, but you can certainly go first if you have one.
I want to do a little counter espionage with the local animals.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually want to befriend or have like a double agent animal
Ooh, very nice.
to
You
help.
know who a
Viral.
turncoat would easily be? A squirrel.
That's it. That's it. It's got to be the squirrel.
What's he paying you? Oh, my life. Fair enough.
How about your life plus a big bag of nuts? Squirrels are horrible gossips.
Nice.
Be warned, green dragons can talk to animals and critters on their territory. That is one of their innate dragony abilities. So,
That's why I'm trying to do a little counter espionage with. I'm trying to win some of the hearts and minds of some of the animals to distract his agents from spotting us.
yeah, but like what I'm saying is, if he asks any of those critters, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we saw them."
Maybe, but that's what this role is all about. Like,
That's right.
He wants.
That's what I'm attempting to turn.
Can I put forth the image of yet another council chamber? This one much smaller, just inside the hollowed out of one big oak tree. Cultist standing in the middle.
Squeaky, squeaker, squeaking.
They have a squirrel moot.
Walnuts, pecans, lend me your.
Jackie says, "Don't bring your personal vendetta against squirrels into this." I think it's perfect. Don't listen to Jackie.
I will.
Perfect.
I will run smear campaigns against any squirrels.
All of them. So yeah, what kind of role do you think that would be? That sounds
Nature, persuasion.
nature sounds right to me. Let's see. Kaylee brings up some good points, so I don't think this is going to be easy. So I'm thinking this would be DC 15, and there will be like an automatic tick for a success on the Chuth spot shit clock.
Worth it.
And an extra one, probably an extra. We'll just go an extra one if you fail. So DC 15, trying to track down this layer.
I'll be bribing them with an embarrassment of riches through Drugcraft, like little nuts and berries.
Oh, heck yeah. Definitely. You can have advantage on this roll. I think this is like 100% up Cobus's alley.
That's awesome.
All right, here we go.
Oh no!
May I spend a luck?
Let's talk
Good
about
Lord.
can you spend a luck? This is a natural 1 and a natural 1. What do you guys think as a party?
Oof. Even advantage wouldn't have helped.
I imagine rolling a natural 1 on advantage. That is.
Doesn't happen
I
often.
I want to say that I think the significance of a double 1 is great, and that it means something needs to happen. But I also just really think this is a cool idea, and I want something positive to come out of it because I really love what's happening, and I don't want it to be completely sponged because of one bad roll.
Okay. Well, like even on a failure, you're putting effort towards this clock, so you get to tick the clock once. So it'll be at 6 out of 8.
However, all
looking
squirrels
later.
now hate Cobus in the entire world. He
But
suspended all of them at once.
Never trust a squirrel.
I think because never trust a squirrel. Allie was right the whole time.
I know, that's what's telling you guys.
Yeah, Horace, this is your role. So what do you think about all this?
I was instinctively going to roll a luck, but if you guys think that we should have something fun with the natural ones, I'm totally cool with that.
Let's see. Yeah, here's what it would look like right now without spending the reroll, without spending the luck. Jackie says, what if Cobus spends 2 luck?
I'm fine with that.
You're about to go into a layer of a black dragon, and a luck roll might be important there.
No.
Green dragon.
I'm just... Sorry, green dragon.
keep in mind you also do have a natural resistance to its breath weapon, so that will help you.
So, as a group, what do you guys think?
I think that, I want you to reroll, but on the other hand, we're doing pretty well so far, and I think 2 natural ones is pretty funny. It's kind of a sad opportunity to just, kind of ignore with a luck point.
Maybe the dragon's hold on these squirrels is too much. Like, their eyes all start to glow green and attack you.
I mean, they are charmed.
The fear of being a snack is too much for them.
The dragon can charm just the various creatures in the area, so that's not too...
What do you think, Allie?
I mean, I mostly play Savage Worlds, and you can't Benny crit fails there. But this is also D&D, and luck is a homebrew rule.
Yep.
So, I think both outcomes are very interesting. I think it just comes down to what would be more fun for you,
Yeah. Well, I say we embrace the natural ones then, and we take the consequences.
All right, yeah. You get when you bring out the treasure troves of nuts and berries and food to feed to this squirrel. Probably several other squirrels, nearby squirrels, kind of perk up and look at what's happening, and they seize that opportunity to come in, figure out what's going on, and then before you know it, there's half a dozen squirrels, 8 squirrels here, all snatching up stuff and just running in different directions, and you're certain that one of them is heading back towards Chuth's lair in order to.
I love that we just turned a dragon encounter into a
squirrel fight.
Amazing.
Oh man!
Aster's gonna learn the wish spell and then wish all squirrels out of existence.
The squirrel king will remember her.
Completely disrupting the food chain and just everything crashes.
Listen, squirrels only look out for themselves, so why shouldn't Aster look out for her friends?
That's true. That's true. But yeah, you do get some information, and you are approaching or heading in the right direction. But you also know that time is kind of the essence. The clock is ticking, and you need to get a move on.
Okay. I'll go back to the group and go, so, hey guys. Things didn't go so well. There's a little stronger hold on these critters than I expected. We may want them to get the move on.
Oh no, what happened?
Things got a little crazy with the berries and nuts, and it was all just a big gather, and it's all mine, you can't have it.
Notoriously greedy. Maybe they're related to dragons.
They might be onto something there. It's the teeth.
She makes a chomping motion with her own mouth.
Kyla looks very concerned.
All right. Yuri, you got anything for this?
Give it... Yeah, the only thing that I can think Yuri might be able to contribute here is he does have proficiency in history because of the reading that he did, so maybe using all the other evidence and facts we've put together, maybe in some of his readings he would be aware of a landmark or a hidden cove or something that had come up in a story, using all of these things to point in that direction. So maybe a history check.
I could see that. I think it'd be a little bit obscure, just some random spot in the Misty Forest.
Yeah.
Maybe DC 14?
Sounds good. I have 2 inspiration. I'll just put this in Fate's hands. Just normal. Fate said no.
Oh no!
All right, so you get one more tick there, and let's see. So Chuth is aware 4 out of 6. Chuth Slayers found is 7 out of 8. I think with this, we're probably going to, unless someone has like another role that they're like, yeah, and this is what we'll do to finish this off, then we'll just tick up this last bit for one here for found Chuth Slayer, and then one more tick for Chuth is aware. So we're at 5 out of 6 Chuth is aware. So pretty much if anything happens inside here that doesn't go according to plan, then the dragon becomes aware of your presence in the lair.
I actually really like that because it definitely adds pressure.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all done something to get us closer, and we're so very nearly there that it's probably just a matter of grunt work looking around to the area we've narrowed it around until we find it, which just buys more time for more squirrels to get back to it.
Squirrels!
Jackie, you have inspiration now. She says, using his proficiency in history, Yuri is able to recall the entire story of the squirrels of the area and utilize that information to feed their eternal enemies, the corvids, the squirrel's secret and weaknesses.
Nice.
She has since dabbed.
And perfect. All right, so we are here. Give me a second to reveal some areas. Whoop. All right. So here you found just a couple of signs of dragons coming and going, and recognize them as definitely green dragons, and you've tracked this down to here. Let's see. Let me open up my notes. So you make your way to this, following the stream that isn't depicted here, but this feeds into a river further into the northwest, and there's just this massive waterfall that's falling over this entire area. And let's see, pool for the waterfall is 20 foot deep.
There's something behind the waterfall.
There is, because this is a video game.
Treasure!
I would be so disappointed if there wasn't. Do you know how many waterfalls in Skyrim aren't put to good use?
Yeah.
So many.
It's disgusting. How
But many are.
Yeah, many are.
Todd
You
Howard.
can't. If there is more than one waterfall, it can't be every waterfall.
Because then it wouldn't be
That's too much.
special.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Todd Howard. This just doesn't work.
Todd.
I hope he's not watching.
All right, Todd, we love you, Todd. You know
Yes,
we love
Todd
you.
Howard is amazing.
I've purchased Skyrim at least 3 or 4 separate times, so
Oh
you know
my,
how much I
yes.
love your product.
So yeah, there's this this pool, and Kylie, you probably recognize this as the main dragon sign. The water here is just greener than it should be, and it's not algae. It's not just like a natural thing. It's because a green dragon has made its lair here, and you recognize that immediately. This waterfall is pretty loud, so you can have a conversation here. Let's see here.
Oh, if only other dragon lairs were that obvious. Like, oh, found a bunch of bright red rocks on top of this mountain. Must be a red dragon nearby.
We've never looked for a red dragon before, to be fair.
Maybe there is.
True. Wait a minute.
But yeah, every once in a while there's a gap in the water and you can see into the space. There's a steep ramp on either side of the waterfall, and you can peer up into these rain-slicked rocks. What would you like to do?
First of all, how clear is the water? Like, can we see the bottom?
It's a little bit choppy, so you can't see the bottom now.
See, that's funny. Because when my players went by a pool of lava, a red dragon jumped out at them. So,
I'm sure that'll be fine, you know. I don't think we're gonna worry about it.
I wouldn't worry about it.
yes, you're the dungeon master, you see.
So you proceed, Kyle?
Should we just go mad charging in? Screaming at the top of our lungs?
How many squirrels are there in the immediate area?
That's what I said Oliver to do.
Do we just have like a wave following us like, in the trees? Just watching to see what happens?
Are they throwing pecans at us?
There's like 5 squirrels in a circle, all of them have mini dragon masks.
That's just like, where did they get all those pecans? They don't even grow here.
So yeah, there's not an army of squirrels hot on your heels, but yeah, you do definitely hear like woodland creatures in the area. It's much less than would be natural, just the dragon's natural aura, and pretty much any small animal in this area is probably a spy for Chuth. But Azaria's necklace kind of hides you from that, from the natural critters in the area. So they're probably charmed and under his control.
Well, I don't mind being the test subject if I should just try to jump for it. I could try to pick each of you up in turn and then jump you through.
Just take me in my lamp, and it'll be fun.
That's a good idea. Can you take the others in your lamp, and then I'll take the lamp and jump up, and then you can all get out of the lamp?
I mean, they didn't really want to last time, even though I thought I was being a really gracious host. But I guess. Do you want to meet my kobolds?
Dad, just a fair warning, the power is doing something weird down here.
Okay.
So, my power might go out, or yours might, so if
That's
I
good
just
to
leave
know.
suddenly or I'm silent, then that's why.
All right. Uninterruptible power supplies will probably keep us going for a little bit, so we might get a chance to say goodbye, but we might not.
Wow, that sounded, like, really dark.
Before the power goes out.
I know, but hopefully we'll get a chance to say goodbye.
Not before our lives are extinguished.
Damn!
All right, so yeah, you see, see it's flickering up here now too. You see, what do you call it? Foot traffic that goes in and out along both sides of the waterfall. There's like a muddy path up each side. See anything else here? Someone want to roll me a perception test?
Probably not me, because surprisingly, my wisdom is only a +1.
My ow.
Yeah.
You've got the best perception. Mine's a 0.
Well,
Oliver's taking out the squirrels.
Oliver's taking point.
Perception at advantage.
Pseudo dragons have the same thing, +3 and keen senses.
Ooh,
Very good.
nice.
16.
Yeah, you see a couple of things that just make you think that the dragon cult is here as well. Like maybe you see a dragon mask that's been discarded near the shore, and a small, looks like a 5 different, looks like a remember Cruel or like a 5-pointed throwing star?
Yeah.
But like each arm is a different color. One for each of the chromatic dragons is just painted on one of the rocks there.
It looks like we're barking up the wrong tree here.
Listen. What if we do get help? I have disguise. I have disguise self. What if I disguise myself as the dragon rider with a whole bunch of injury?
But what if he's in there?
I know, that would be funny.
Help me, please.
Just imposter!
The dragon just goes.
We are not doing get help.
You know what I could do? You know what I could turn into a bat and fly around the cave. Bats love caves.
They do love caves.
And they're also a delicious snack.
Well, for a green dragon I know nothing about, seems like they'd like fish.
Also true. And deer. And elves. They really like elves.
Oh, then a bat's like, that's nothing.
Well, who can blame him? I'm a pescatarian. Elves don't count.
You know, this is a perfect opportunity, Yuri, to do a cannonball. While you're in midair, I could enlarge you.
That does sound like fun, but maybe it would be better afterwards, if they don't know we're here yet.
Oh, right.
So do you want to fly around inside this cave?
I don't know if that's cool with everybody else.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Be stealthy.
I think that's pretty safe so long as you don't run into the dragon.
With true sight. Wait, I guess
They don't have true sight, they have blind sight.
Right.
Alright.
Well, you know, Aster has
Let's see what I can do to help you with this.
she has a -1 to intelligence and a -1 to wisdom, so this is a good plan.
Sweet.
She thinks.
Alright, you can have advantage. Just for
Thank you.
advancing the story along. Does anybody want to do anything like cast invisibility on her, or
Does the bat already have dark vision?
yes, I think it has blind sight because it's like screeching.
Okay.
I don't have anything useful that will enhance that.
Think about Nadja in the sewers echolocating.
All right.
I'll give her guidance.
Cool.
Thank you.
So you get one gimme.
Only lasts for a minute though, so
I'll fly fast and true.
I'm basically going to just expose the entire dungeon because I think that'll be cool. All right.
Ooh, it be.
Epic.
So, is anybody casting invisibility on her?
no.
I don't have it.
All right.
Nor do I.
It's crazy talk.
So it was Karen who had invisibility.
Yeah. Oh,
You're
Karen.
You
Back
have a
at home.
resistance.
All right. So, like, you fly into here. Oops, I didn't mean to expose that. You fly into the behind the waterfall. Your wings get a little bit wet, but you see several elves. They do have weapons, and it looks like they're sitting here guarding the entrance. They notice the bat come in, but pay it no mind. Squeak, 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 squeak. Let's see.
Oh my gosh, but if she leaves Oliver behind, she can talk through Oliver.
There you go.
Oh.
And, yeah, Kovis would be able to understand her bat squeaks.
Well, you can just telepathically speak to him, and he can speak in your voice.
Oh, that's even better, but we have a workaround otherwise.
But I think it's probably going to be Squeaks since it's Aster.
That's fair.
All right. Anything else I need to show you?
Oh, that secret passage right there?
Oh, do you see secret passages?
I do.
Really?
Yep, there's one right here by the water.
We see the dotted line.
Oh, yeah. That's like an underground watery passage.
Wait a minute, but you're saying there are secret passages.
I didn't say that.
Dun, dun, dun.
So yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, did we see guy with a green dragon mask anywhere?
Yeah, he doesn't have the green dragon mask on, but who you assume to be the head person, possibly the worm speaker, is back here in room 8. So let me summarize a whole bunch of stuff here. 2, the island chamber. That's this guy right here. This large chamber has a 40-foot high ceiling set with massive stalactites, smaller stalagmites set across the ground. A pool with a small island in the southeast corner of the cavern is fed by streams of water dripping down through the rock. The southwest face of the cavern is a 25-foot high bluff, part of which is Area 4. That's this thing right here. So this is like kind of open to the... Room 4 is open to room 2. Okay. And is raised up about 10 or 20 feet, I think. Number 3 is an Etten lair. This filthy chamber features only 3 huge trash mounds piled against the west wall. This place is home to 3 Ettins, all of which hate each other. You come in and squeak, squeak, squeak. They're actually fighting a little bit. You can tell they're pushing each other around for quit touching my stuff. Let's see. Down this way is a door that leads to where all those looks like there's elven commoners and possibly some elves of noble birth up there. What else is going on?
They look like they're imprisoned or cool with it.
It does not look like they're cool with it for sure, but they are armed. Let's see.
Where was that?
In Area 4. That's like a bunch of elves that are down near the south. Let's see. And then also, speaking of secret doors, there's a small passageway that connects these two. You kind of have to you'd have to squeeze through it if you were a person, but it's just just looking at it, it looks like, oh, that's a dead end, but it's not. It connects back around. Up here in rooms 5 and 6 are a bunch of dragon cultists. Let's see. This is the 5 is kind of the common room. You see some guys maybe playing dice. And here are sleeping quarters. There's a storeroom in Area 7 up to the northeast. Has quite a few supplies and basically food, wine, everything. Let's see. And this area is a lush living space in the rough-walled cavern, decorating it with select art and craftworks from his raids. Rich carpets and tapestries cover the floor and walls of the cavern, which feature a hewn log bed, a large mirror, and a trunk.
I thought that's what you meant the tapestry was. I was like, oh, it's a very rustic scene for a tapestry.
Listen, are the guys playing dice? Are they playing D&D, but from a cultist perspective? Like, are they fighting... an important faction person as a boss in a dungeon or something.
Oh my gosh.
That would be epic.
What would it be? It would be...
Let's see.
I don't know enough about the lore of this world.
Something
I got nothing.
kind of adventurous, maybe.
Actually,
Farmers and fiends.
What?
Farmers and fiends.
give me a investigation check.
Oh my.
Intelligence investigation, DC 14?
Oh my. All but impossible.
Gosh. Okay. Maybe I use one of my inspirations on this.
That might be a good idea.
Okay, I'll do that.
You still got guidance. Whoops.
Okay. Oh, I do. Okay. Do I roll the d4 first or after?
After, if you need it.
Okay. Okay, so advantage, intelligence, and then guidance. Oh!
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even do the guidance.
So this right here, there is an arcane glyph that's etched into the floor. And as you're flying over up and down these hallways, you see like the shimmer and you halt for just a moment. And you're able to describe to Kyla what you're seeing, and she tells you it's a glyph of warding. And if you get near it, fly past it, it's going to go off unless you have some way of like disabling it.
I might have dispel magic. I don't think so, but I'll check.
Yuri does.
Oh, baby.
Yes!
Let me check.
I saw that pop up on my spell list just starting at this level, and I was like, oh man, that's definitely going to come in handy at least once.
Okay, I don't have that, so I will turn back. She says, squeeze, 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 squeeze. What a game of telephone that must have been, like, from Aster squeaking through Albert, Cobus having to translate the word that she's seeing to Kyla.
Nice.
There's something about turkeys?
I don't need a new pair of sandals. I'm not sure if that's relevant.
Something about an arcane spoon?
An arcade spoon. Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's so you guys kind of have a complete lay of the land thanks to the fancy bat cloak that Allie twisted my arm to get.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Squeak, squeak, squeak. Tiefling form.
Genie form.
It doesn't work.
Someday.
Jackie says, translator note, there is no common equivalent for this word, so we left it in the original bat. Squeak.
That's good.
So,
Does it sound... I'm sorry, go ahead.
it's 3:15. I think we should do like a little bit of planning maybe and call this session before we maybe when the dragon fight starts, only because I think it's going to take longer than 45 minutes to get through that. So just so we can quit around 4 if possible.
Bold of you to assume we're fighting the dragon.
Maybe we're not. Maybe we're not. But if
Maybe it's just gonna eat us right away.
You're right. Okay, so listen. It would be fine and great to just go in there and incinerate these poor cultists. However, doing a version of Get Help would be really funny. Whether it's
I don't want to do get it. Let's see what it is. I think that sounds really fun. Based on Aster's descriptions, the elves in general, they're not captives, they're armed, but they don't look like they're having a good time.
Yeah, like some of them might be, but it looks like they're either members of the cult under duress, or they are possibly charmed, forced to do this.
But elves can't be charmed. No, they can't. They can't be put to sleep.
They can't be put to sleep.
They have advantage against charm. Maybe.
I think that's it.
What if we wait for one of their patrols, a hunting patrol or something, to go out, kill them, steal their uniform, and then we go in. I use disguise self, maybe some minor illusion-y stuff to make it look like I'm super injured. And they start talking about, oh my god, there's this adventuring party out there, we have to go stop them. They send out a whole bunch of troops, leaving a lot of space open for us to do stuff while they're out looking for them.
I'll say one more thing about the the people being coerced to do this. You're not sure what the situation is, but there are definitely scenarios you can come up with, like maybe these guys are acting on their free will, but they're being forced to do so. Like, they have a lot of prisoners back here, so if these guys run, then they know that these people down here in Area 4 are just going to get slaughtered. There's probably friends and family members back there. And if they don't cooperate, then there's a chance that it might go bad for people they know and things like that.
I do know disguise self.
Nice.
Yeah, I have the tattoo that lets me do it for free.
Oh, nice.
The one of the things I also want to say is, like, you guys have dragon cultist uniforms, so if you want to walk in there pretending to be cultist, that's totally a thing you can do.
I just want to do it to get help at least once in my D&D career. I think it would be amazing.
So are you going to throw Yuri at them, or?
So what I was thinking was basically everyone dresses up as dragon cultists. We go in there acting like one of us, probably someone with this guy's self, so either me or Allie, and we pretend that one of those people is really injured. And we start telling them, hey, there's this adventuring party out there. We think they're the Defiant Dawn. We need to go stop them, like, right now. Hopefully, they'll believe us, and then they'll send out a bunch of guys to go look for the Defiant Dawn, or, like, start setting up defenses against them or whatever.
What? You know who we tell them is out there?
Who?
It's the Dragon Daggers.
Yeah!
Like, who is that?
They're like, never heard of them. Why should we care?
Double burn. They're not even here to get burnt so hard.
And you guys are like, oh, nice.
They feel a disturbance in the force.
Karen's back at the castle, just like, yes, good. Humiliation.
Ian, or whatever his name is, who just senses, like, some kind of dark energy in the back of his mind.
Drops his cane, clutches his chest.
Haynes.
Stupid Haynes.
Hey.
There is this bit in Gravity Falls where they're all making fun of Dipper, and Grunkle Stan walks in like his underwear and pajamas, and he's like, "Where's the object of ridicule?" He like rubbing his hands together.
All right, hear me out, guys. We could do a hostage exchange, okay? We know we got the elves that are possibly conscripted or against their will. So we capture the squirrels. That's all I got.
That's good.
I like Kaylee's idea.
I like the idea of get help. If we're only sending in two people that are disguised, and we're immediately telling them that the Defiant Dawn is outside, and the Defiant Dawn is outside, are we planning to hide, or would we be planning on dressing up as cultists and going in with you guys? Or
Defiant Dawn could be in my lamp.
Ooh. You
Having mimosas.
Surprise attack. We jump out holding our mimosas.
Wow.
Sorry.
That's
Like
pretty
it.
cool.
I like it.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I like that.
Yeah.
One
Definitely.
lone bat carrying the lantern would have been a bad plan. This is a good plan.
Have Oliver fly the lamp in.
Surprise! Adventure bomb!
But while people are outside looking for the Defiant Dawn, we can be inside doing a whole bunch of stuff because they'll all be distracted and they'll be aware that we're there, but they won't know that it's us.
Yeah.
Per se.
Getting the people, getting some people to go is going to be easy. Getting the dragon to go and or Neuron Vein to go, they know who all's here. So, like, once the plan gets to them, it's going to kind of fall apart. But I like the idea, and I think we can get a lot of people, combatants, out of here if you want, if that's the route you want to take. But like, when you go in and say, "Yeah," and they beat us up, and they're out there right now, then he's like, "Who the heck are you? What were you doing outside?" And it's going to fall apart quickly, and then it's like, "Haha, surprise lamp attack."
Aha!
Yeah, pocket lamp.
Make a wish.
Make a wish.
Abracadabra. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of get help. I further like the idea of everyone else hiding inside the lamp to then pop out when you two are done disguise selfing. And then just this, like, I don't know, I'm imagining that bit in Zoolander where they use their makeup kits to put on disguises, and they're just, like, slowly moving through the enemy stronghold. So I like the idea of Kyla and Aster having a fun disguise adventure.
It'll be good. It'll be good. It's gonna be great.
Cool, let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's a good plan.
Yuri's gonna play cards with the kobolds because he befriended them the other day.
Nice. They're wagering little shiny rocks between each other. All right, yeah, let's see. What do they tell me about these commoners guarding the front door? Not a whole bunch. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. So, who's in the lamp? Who's out of the lamp? And what's the story here?
I think probably the Dragonborn should be inside the lamp just because they're very noticeable, I guess. Or, like, if they haven't seen Dragonborn walking around, then they're going to be a lot more suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Let's see. I guess Aster could be also dressed up as a cultist. That wouldn't be a problem, I don't think.
Nah.
All right. So you guys start climbing up these rain-soaked or waterfall-soaked rocks, making your way up into this chamber. Take it away. Lay the scene.
Alright, so Aster, would you like to yell, get help, my friend, she's dying?
Of course.
Excellent. Yeah, so Kyla casts Disguise Self, mostly, not exactly for the outfit, because she already has that, but to make it look like she has wounds or, like, blood seeping through the clothing that isn't necessarily, like, discernible without, like, further medical attention. So somebody can't just look at her and be like, oh, yeah, that's not a cut. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
They've got like their standard dragon cult apparel on, thanks to their disguising.
Yeah, the disguise self will also make it so she has a few burns because we are a very fire-based party.
Sure.
In some regards.
That's
so.
good. That's good. Yeah, I think that's cool. I'm not even going to make you roll on this, like a disguise check or anything like that. Yeah, you come up there, and immediately one of the lower ranking people sees you and sees that you're calling for help. So he immediately starts running, but this guy says, "Not so fast. Who are you? Why are you here?"
Aster specifically made herself look like one of the people that are already in the cave deeper.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, it's like he's like, "Who's your friend?" And he like gives the. How do we know she's not a spy? He gives you like the dragon sign, and like raises up the 5 fingers.
She very weakly returns the sign, and just cough.
Do we really have time for this? She said. her own voice.
Taking inspiration, Allie. He's so laser focused on it, he doesn't really notice the bad accent, and he says, "One more question: Who's the head of the dragon cult?"
What? What are you talking about? They're dying! Look at all the blood!
He's directly addressing you, Kyla.
I'm new, but I think it's Severin. I'm sorry, I don't.
It's like, all right, go get help. So yeah, he starts. The commoner was already on his way there, and starts heading down that way. And he. Do you think he would be calling out, or I guess the plan here is to get like some of the dragon claws and dragon fangs to form a party and head out, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a deception test, and that'll tell me what's going to happen here.
I'm going to use an inspiration on this.
Okay. Fooling these. Well, a nat 20. Never mind. I like to set up the failure case ahead of time, but nat 20. I think you get exactly what you asked for, maybe a little more. Probably.
Worked. I can't believe it worked.
Get help! Get help! Get help!
So,
Nobody's looking except maybe Aster. Kyla just gives a thumbs up.
The defiant dawn!
So I think these guys just get taken pretty much out of the equation. All the dragon claws, all the dragon fangs. I'm just going to move them up into the drink.
Nice.
I'm in the soup.
God.
They flee. Neron Vane comes out and gets a report. When they leave, the guy that you look like makes eye contact with you for just a second, but then immediately has to focus on the watery step so he doesn't slip and bust his ass. Yeah, probably these guys would go too, leaving just the Ettins, these commoners and nobles and things like that. Neron Vane and the dragon. Does that seem?
That seems more
cool?
than fair. To be
Yeah,
honest.
Yeah, that's very good.
Very reasonable.
Yeah, you guys can all drag yourself into this this big room over here.
Did you say Neron Vane came out?
I think he'll. What I don't want to happen is I don't want him to come over and say, "Hey, what's that?" and get one shot by the party. So I'd like there to be a dragon fight with him riding its back.
Yes. It's so cool.
So, and I think that's what the party wants. So, maybe with the nat 20, it would be like a two-stage fight, but I think it'd be cooler if he was riding on the back of the dragon.
Oh, for sure.
Kicking the crap out of you guys.
I was just wondering exactly how much I would have to lie.
I think the plan starts. So what he's heard is like the Defiant Dawn is out there, so he sent all the troops out to go deal with that, so that he and Chuth can get away. So he's busy like loading up a bag of holding with some of the treasure, and once they have the bulk of the high price items, he hops on the dragon and then comes out through here.
How big is the dragon token for my personal visual aid?
Sure. Oh god, I've moved. No, don't do that. Can I hit Control Z? I hope. Oh, thank God.
Oh, that's not so bad. That's not so bad.
He's so pretty. Sorry.
Wow.
Rah, rah, rah.
Very intimidating, but very pretty.
Rah, rah, rah.
We beat the last great dragon so badly it was defeated by water.
Wow. It's a bold claim.
Actually, we defeated the last green dragon by polymorphing it into a frog.
Oh, you're right.
How about that polymorph spell?
Yeah, go for it, man.
No, more specifically,
Wait, have we beaten
telekinesis.
3 green dragons so far?
2.
No,
This
it was
is
just
gonna be
2.
the third.
That was the same one that we polymorphed from the Velvet.
Wait, I just had an idea. This is for future reference, but are there any large boulders in this cave?
It's mostly stalactites and stalagmites. What you want a boulder for?
For this lovely spell called telekinesis, so I can hurl it at a flying dragon.
Oh yeah, you can find something like that to hurl
You
it.
could cut one of the Oh, you already did that once.
I have an opener that might be cool.
Yes,
If anybody's into it.
absolutely.
You know we are.
It's your idea, so
I
we already
don't know
know
if it's gonna work.
Doesn't matter if it's cool.
So Kyla's still pretending to be hurt. So I think Aster makes a show of gently letting her friend go to her knees on the ground so she can walk freely. And she tries to hail the dragon rider urgently, boss, hello. As she scampers over in her fake face and dress.
Mm-hmm.
Would she be able to get across this little dealie of water here?
It's 15 feet of water and it's really deep. It's 40 or 50 feet deep.
Oh, that's pretty deep.
Yeah. Oh, just tell me what you're saying. We'll try to make it work.
I was gonna walk up to the dragon and use my excellent strength proficiencies to jam an immovable rod into its thigh.
Nice. Ooh.
And then everybody springs out of the lamp.
That's cool.
Wait, do you have to activate the immovable rod while it's in your hand? Is there a button on it?
Yeah, there's a button on one side.
Yeah.
Darn, we could have put the immovable rod in a really tasty fish and then made the dragon swallow it, and then the dragon would be having a very terrible stomach ache, but also pinned to the same spot.
Couldn't leave, couldn't move. Oof. It's rough, buddy.
Well, his girlfriend didn't turn into the moon, so.
Nice.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think you guys are in here. He's mostly just ignoring you. When this dragon with this gray-skinned elf riding on its back, attached to its saddle, they come exploding out of the water. It's just dripping down, and they're running, and you're trying to hail him, and he's just completely ignoring you because the Defiant Dawn is here, and he just doesn't want any part of this. And and he just says silence, and he's like charging past you, and then that's when you smack the immovable rod into it, and it just the dragon just completely it's like he hits a brick wall. And does Narrowbane gets thrown from his saddle? Let's see what he's got here.
This guy.
Let's see. I think this will be a dexterity roll. Yeah, he doesn't have athletics trained or anything like that. So we'll just see what he rolls.
You've got this. Oh, he does not.
He does not. This. So yeah, he falls out of the saddle. And that's when everybody explodes out of the lamp. You can put yourself here. And a little noxious vapor gets forced out of Chuth's mouth when he runs into this immovable rod. And his eyes go wide when he sees like the group of you. And that's where we'll call it, I guess.
Nice.
Sounds pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm excited.
Insert the Wilhelm scream. Cool.
The descriptions this session were on point.
Really?
I loved the DM's descriptions and the players' descriptions. I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like we were really role playing well today, and I really like that.
I think my favorite part of the whole thing was the squirrel vendetta.
That's fun.
A lot of crossover to my personal interests. Thank you.
So one thing that players new to the channel might not know is like at the end of every session, I like to do a quick kind of what went right, what went wrong, a little post-mortem thing of what do you want to see more of, what do you want to see less of. And what I like is that my players just automatically went right into that. Like it was just the natural way of things. It started telling me the things that they liked. So I just thought that was cool. And I felt like my descriptions were a little bit clunky. I didn't get to do as much prep as I normally would. Because this was my last week of work before a big vacation. So
that's big vacation time?
Yes, ma'am. I am not going back to work until January 2nd or 3rd.
Hot dog!
Well deserved, sir.
So nice.
And yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Stone, am I right?
There will be a lot of rock and a lot of stone.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jackie. Let's see. Yeah, that was this was a really fun session. I liked how the Dragon Council went. I was a little bit worried about trying to roleplay 5 different things and trying to get stuff across, but I feel like some of that just flowed naturally within each other.
Yeah, you did a really good job of that. I think addressing each dragon separately was a pretty good idea, with maybe 1 or 2 of them having input.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a really nice way of handling it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think everybody did a really good job this session. I think that I'll say I feel like I was a little overzealous early on, so I'm sorry if I was cutting into people or talking over people. It's not my intention, but I think it did happen a few times, so I was trying to curb that a little later.
You were channeling Yuri's dragon fervor.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But, so that's something that I didn't like that I did. So I apologize, and I'll try to make sure I do better in the future. But I think everybody had some really cool ideas, both during the council and in the encounters after. I really like the setup for next session. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I really like how Horace decided to go with the double natural one. I think that was I didn't give my input on that because I'm like, I'll leave it up to the players, but that's the direction I was leaning in it. I think it made a lot of sense, and it kind of rose the stakes before we got here. It's like, ooh, if we mess anything up, it's going to be bad. And then you just roll an at 20 and like, all right, well, that's that.
I did think that that Horace making that decision was really cool. That
Mhm.
was that did, like that led to an interesting story, and it was funny. And I think it was very interesting that we rolled snake eyes on d20s.
I thought it was funny how Kyla said, "Are you sure you want to do this? I mean, he has the ability to naturally try." He's like, "Oh no, but I am Cobus. They will like me. I am friend of nature."
Yeah.
Womp womp.
These squirrels are jerks, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Yuri will spread tale of the squirrel's treasonous ways. And, treasonous.
Nice.
Part of me was like, should I just go back to the room and go, quick, kill all the squirrels, hurry!
Kill them all! Fireball, fireball.
Nobody
Squirrels
noticed
just
anything.
flying through the air.
Times like this, you need a ranger. Favorite enemy.
Squirrel. Cool. Well, it's been really fun. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to say one thing. So a friend of mine at work said he wanted to do like a tailgate party for one of my Blood Bowl games just to be stupid and funny. And then he ran that idea by the like kind of the activities director of the studio, and they said, "Yeah, let's do it." So I don't know, like it's just in the talking stages right now, but I think they might be getting everybody together to watch one of my Blood Bowl games.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
So hopefully I'll do all right with that one. We'll
I
see.
bet you're gonna do great.
So I've been doing a lot of Blood Bowl lately. Monday and Wednesdays, that's what we're doing. We'll be back for D&D in a couple of weeks, unless that's on Christmas or something. It is not.
I don't think it is.
It's the 18th. Not sure if everybody knows their schedule so far, but that's the current plan.
It'll be fun.
Cool. And then we'll fight ourselves a green dragon here.
Oh boy.
Let's see. I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye.